extent.
Well, sort of his favourite in the northern end, I would think.
Oh, it's sideways to me, mate, but just different views on the world, I think.
Okay, well, the game just about to get under the way, and your first caller here on 5RPH Football is none other than the Doyen of football commentators, Dennis Brown.
Yes, thanks, Mitty. And Griffiths for the Bays. Michael Griffiths will be up against Paul Scholar, I would imagine, who taking the first bounce, magnificent bounce by the umpire, is straight into a pack of players, though, and there'll be a ball up once again. He was so impressed with that bounce, he wants to have another crack at it. It was a beauty.
It was a great bounce.
Sailed into the air and gave both ruckmen opportunity to reach it, and another good bounce too, straight up the centre. It's Scholar taps it down with the right hand. The Bays are away through Polly. He gets it over to his teammate there. He runs into a bit of trouble, but got out of it nicely, and that was Robinson. Up inside the attacking 50, he goes to footy. The Doggies come away with it, though, as the handball is out there towards Arnott. Arnott goes out looking for centre wing, looking there for Chris Gowns. He runs over the line, takes the ball with him for a boundary throw in centre wing outer side of the NAP oval.
Yeah, that new player for the Doggies onto the ground straight away. Edwards Sainsbury got the touch there and got it out. The throw-in is on the outer side of the ground, and it's at centre wing. Comes out to the Bays. They get the big kick up through Griffiths up to half forward. Can we take a mark up there? And that player going for the mark was Bradley Smith. He couldn't take it. He does bring it down. Gets a quick kick up to the goal square. In the goal square, almost taking a mark there, but reading it off well and having the first shot at goal is the Glenelg, and it's its goal. Absolutely magnificent start for the Glenelg side. And I'm just trying to pick up Josh Kruger, first kick in league footy and a goal. Magnificent effort there by the young man. Read it off the pack very well and has kicked the first goal. So Glenelg go to one straight goal. They lead Central's yet to score on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. We've played 1 minute 30 seconds on the time clock, and you're on RPH Football with Phil Herden.
Well, the debutant's in the action early, and Josh Kruger looking a likely lad. Got the ball. He was on a bit of an angle with the snapshot, nailed it. And the Bays have come to play with the first goal of the match.
Joins an inclusive club. First kick in football, a goal.
Okay, umpire with the footy. About to project it skyward once again. Down it goes. Another magnificent bounce. Up they go. Scholar this time the tap down the Slade. Around the body goes the Bulldog up towards half forward. Out come the Bays though, and it's Benny Mules that's got it and kicks it out there towards centre wing. He's looking for his teammate down there in Brockman. Brockman's got the footy and he's marked it at just forward of centre wing on the outer side.
It's all Bays at the moment, isn't it?
It certainly is, and they've, as Phil said, in these early stages come out to play, as Brockman now will bang it up inside the 50. Up they go. Scholar read it beautifully. Very good defensive work by the big fella. He ran to the front of the pack. And a 50-metre penalty or a 25. Wait on it, it'll be a 25 maybe. No, it's going to be further than that. It's going to be... No, 25-metre penalty against the Bays for hanging on. Scholar almost belted him out of the park. He swung the arm back as the Doggies come away to half-back, and it's going to be marked out here for them by Ofterhide. So Ofterhide with the footy. Half-back grandstand side, chips it short back to Scholar, who's back at centre half-back now, just on the defensive 50 for the Doggies. Just moving a bit sluggishly at the moment. He chips it short, and here comes the new player in Sainsbury. Does it well. The kick's a shocker, though, but it manages to elude about 3 or 4 different players. It's come towards half-back. The kick by Polly, though, towards centre wing will go out of bounds. It wasn't Polly. In fact, it was Statham, and it's gone out of bounds centre wing grandstand side.
Gentlemen, if you have a look inside Glenelg's forward 50, not a single player.
Okay, I'm looking over the boundary line there and looking what's rain's coming too. So nevertheless, it's going to pour down here in a minute. The boundary umpire throws the ball in. Griffiths up against Scholar. Does that well. Griffiths gets it down, but Bellows there first for the Doggies. He gets a inside out kick up to half forward. Can he find a teammate? It's punched from behind there by the player there in Raiders. He's got the ball back in, but picking it up very well is Quinton Graham for the Doggies. He goes to centre half forward. No one can take a mark. Bellows backed it up. He's pushed off the player there. Could have been paid holding the ball. The ball falls free, and 3 or 4 players dive on it this time. For DB, that decision there by Marco Bello to try to break through.
Well,
he'd have prior opportunity.
Well, yeah, but only just a thought. Anyway, the umpire's called for a ball up at only about 20-30 metres out from the Doggy goal. The tap down. Who's going to be first there? All player buried into the turf, and there'll be a ball up. He was wrapped up. That player was in fact Benny Moore, and so another ball up. Only about 25 metres out from the Doggy goal as the rain really threatens here. Up they go. Griffiths plucked it back, and the Bays come away off the boot there of the player there in Statham. It comes into the pocket. Magnificent pick up there by Raiders. He got it over, and in fact the ball now with the Raiders. He gets the handball further afield as the players come away, and that player there was Salopek. He kicked it up towards centre wing. In the lead for the race for the ball is Steinburner for the Doggies. He'll chip it back. Couple of Doggies there, and one of those takes the mark there in Arnold. And in fact, yes, it is Biscuits. Arnold goes up inside 50, almost a one-hander there for the Bays. For Statham, reading it off beautifully off hands there was Chris Gowns. He got brought to the ground as an umpire. He's found a free kick, and it'll go the way of the Bays, and another 25-metre penalty against
Yeah, well, guess who would be involved? Guess who would be involved? One of the Gowns boys.
Yeah.
No question of that. And
the free kick to be taken by Ben Mules.
Yeah, 25-metre penalty. He's brought him outside the 50. He goes in short to the centre of the ground and finds his teammate and does that very well. And that player there is Brett Backwell. Always gets plenty of the ball too. Good kick too to Backwell. Goes to the centre of the ground and finds his teammate in Salopek. Power-listed player is Salopek. He comes to the grandstand side and has got Michael Raiders there. They're just keeping the ball at the moment, making the central side come to them as the rain starts to come down here at the NAP Oval. Salopek goes in long to half forward. It's 3-1 there. Good spoil from behind from off the hide. Sees the ball come into the player's arms there. That player running with the ball is Steinburner. Goes up to the true centre half forward position. Again, a good spoil there, but falls in the arms of Switala. You would think he'd just about get a goal here. Switala chips it over the top to his teammate running into an open goal. Can he pick it up and go through for the first goal? Yes, he can. And that player there was Luke Cowan. And Luke Cowan's kicked the first goal for the Doggies. They've now equalled the scores here at the NAP Oval. 1 goal apiece on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. We'll go back to the show, collect scores from all around the grounds.
South Adelaide 1 straight goal, lead North Adelaide yet to score. Eagles 1 straight goal, 6, lead Port Adelaide 1 point. West 1 straight goal, 6, lead Sturt yet to score. Brisbane 3-2-20, lead Carlton 2-2-14. Freo 7-2-44, lead Melbourne 2-5-17. Back to the NAP Oval.
Yeah, it's a good bit of play there by young Switala, wasn't it, DB? Getting the ball over.
Actually Slade that got the ball over to him, yeah. Evil Roy. As the umpire's got the footy back in the centre, he's about to thump it into the turf again. Up she rises. Griffiths and Scholar. Neither player can get a decisive tap out, but the Bays come away with it. Suspects of a handball. Ends up with the player there in, look like...
Moore
up towards the half-forward flank. A chance now for the Doggies if they can pick it up. They're under enormous pressure. The ball, handballed across, and the snap around the body there by Walton, I think.
No, Robinson.
By Robertson, I should say, has gone through for another goal of the Tigers, and they are certainly playing good football in this, the first quarter, as they go to 2 straight goals. They lead the Doggies 1 straight goal.
Yeah, well, Craig Robertson last year voted the most improved Glenelg player by the Tiger hierarchy, so the coaches have got a rap on him, and he stepped up for his 4th goal of the season. The rain here is getting very, very heavy. Each goal is going to be worth a lot this afternoon, and the Bays have come out firing.
Well, the good play there from Robinson was the fact he stayed at the front of the pack. He didn't run past the fall of the ball. Sergei Cook ran past the fall of the ball. The ball came back to the front of the pack. Robinson was able to pick it up and snap truly for his first goal. Well played to the young man. Griffiths up against Scholar. Up they go. Griffiths goes high, comes down again to Backwell. He's done pretty well in the centre of the ground so far, has Backwell. Turns around on the left foot, gets a hurried kick up to half forward. Reading in the race of the ball there is the Glenelg player, and that player was Brockman. He sees the ball, pushes the ball towards the boundary line. Again, it's 3 or 4 players in there diving on it, but picking it up is Davis for the Doggies. He turns around and gets a handball towards the boundary line, and the Glenelg players appealing for the free kick there, DB, but they weren't going to con the umpire. He's too smart for that.
No, it certainly wasn't deliberate, no doubt about it, but from the umpire's point of view, it's a boundary.
Don't you love it when the umpire's coach sits in right in front of you?
As he's about to throw the ball back into play, he's just thinking of moving, the umpire's coach. I think Shane Harris, as the ball is inside the 50, kicked off the ground, and towards the pocket, though, the boot there of Ben Moore.
Out on the full.
And goes out on the full, and the Doggies to bring it back into play. And it looks like fighting a Raider to bring it back. He's in the back pocket, grandstand side.
250 games today. Congratulations.
He's been around for a long time, has Brian Hereda. He'll chip it short to half back, and the big bloke Scholar has filled into that position there. So right in the square he is, as Scholar will go bang out to the outer side. Half-back flank, players set themselves up high with Smith, tapped it down, running onto it again for the Bays there. may have been nearly. He got rid of the ball as it comes back here to Raiders. Raiders has tackled. The ball goes to ground. They're screaming for holding the ball, but he didn't have much opportunity to get rid of it. They wrapped him up, did the doggies, and there'll be a bounce down centre wing out of side of the NAP Oval.
They certainly will too, and the rain still tumbling down here at the NAP Oval. The doggies lead 2 straight goals to Central's 1 as the umpire throws the ball up between wing and half forward. Scholars just pushes Griffiths out the way and just gets the tap down, but again 3 or 4 players dive on the ball, and again the umpire has no hesitation to saying, well, I'll have it, boys, and I'll throw it up virtually in the identical spot that we were before. Up it goes. Very dark here at the Elizabeth Oval. Scholar gets the ball over, but leading in the race of the ball again is the Tigers. Comes out this time to Salopek. He turns around and gets a long kick up to half forward. It is sport from over. Reading it very well there is the player for the Glenelg side, and that player there was Jones, I think it was, but he's got the ball out, and it comes out through off the hide up to centre ring. Good strong mark there by the captain of the Glenelg side in Kimmy Costa. Former Crows player, premiership player for the Crows. He's got Salopek at the true centre half forward position. Salopek is under the big fella in Scholar. Coming in there is Harada. Good play there by Harada. They've got the running players going now. Jimmy Gowns drops what he should have taken. Gets it over this time to another running player up there to half forward. Forcing himself underneath the ball there is Cowans again, but also there is the player for the doggies in Slade. He gets tackled too. Coming in also, comes the ball to Bello. Bello with a long kick up to full forward, but leading in the race to the ball there and taking a good mark is Paul Sherwood. He's kept going too, goes to that outer side of the ground, has a bounce. He takes the runners on. He's got gone up the centre wing. Good play there by Paul Sherwood. Goes up the half forward with a long kick, but in there for the doggies was Sainsbury.
Yeah, the ball centre wing on the outer side. A chance for Sherwood, who followed up beautifully, kicks it towards the boundary line. That's well done by Paul Sherwood, but the umpire may have found a free kick in the meantime. It's going to come back, and it looks like it'll go to Biscuits Arnott. Out there, didn't see that, but umpire was right there to pay the decision. He'll chip it in short to Scholar, who's certainly doing a good defensive role at the moment. He's going to go into an attacking role as he lets flow with a drop punt. It'll sail inside the 50. Big pack of players up, off hands. Who's going to be first there? The Tigers come away. The handball comes over to Sujay Cook. He's in more strike than Mandrake. That's nearly holding the footy. It is. Good decision by the umpire. Had the opportunity. Great tackle too. Put him to the ground. He really couldn't get rid of the footy, and the recipient there for the doggies is Tyson Hay. Yeah,
good play there by Tyson Hay. Sergei Cook tried to break away from the tackle, had the option to give the handball off, didn't choose that option. Tyson Hay rewarded with a great tackle, having his first shot at goal. Will kick from around about 35 metres out.
Tyson Hay playing his 49th game has only kicked 2 career goals.
Well, he won't kick it with that one either. That's going to go way to the right and go through for a minor score. So not adding to his total of goals. First minor score on the board to the doggies. 1 goal, 1-7. They still trail the Tigers 2 straight goals, 12. That is on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard as Michael Raiders is going to bring the ball back in as the rain is absolutely teeming down here at the NAPO. We can probably hear it on the roof. And just we're not at the Richmond Oval because we'll be getting absolutely soaked. Out he comes, grandstand side. From in front there was the player in Raiders. Comes out this time to Arnott. Arnott goes back inboard, but to reading the ball well there is Costa. Showed great courage, as DB you heard in the background say. Did get hit high and fairly though, and a bounce down will take place just around about 2 metres outside the 50-metre arc. And it is at the northern end, the end, that the doggies are kicking to.
Yes, and it's going to make conditions very difficult here with the slippery ball. Umpire throws it up. Up they go. Griffiths, a big pump down. A chance for the Bays here if it can be picked up by Damien Raiders. Kicks it towards the boundary line. Diving on the footy there and doing it particularly well for the Bays was the culprit. In limbo at the moment, the footy. And it comes back to Raiders, was it? And the handball to Robinson. And there'll be a boundary throw in right in front of the 5 RPH commentary position.
Clearances from stoppages thus far this quarter. Glenelg 8, Central 2.
Boundary throw in right in front of the RPH commentary team. Up they go. Griffiths gets the ball down. Sujay Cook is in the race for the ball. He's tackled from behind from Tyson Hay, and he will receive the free kick. And as the rain is really teeming down here. Gee, we've never seen rain this hard for such a long time. Good for the farmers, I must admit. Sergei Cook, half-back, goes in short. It's got Griffiths at the centre half-back position, drops what he should have taken. It's got Slade coming through and picks it up. Goes with a hurried kick up towards half-forward. Bowls everybody except for Steinburner. Steinburner's tackle, gets a handball off. Reading in the race of the ball then again was Backwell. He's got the handball over to his running teammate in Ben Moore. Hurry kick up the forward. No one can take the mark there. Ben Moore's backed up there. blocked Herrera from coming out with the ball. Socket off the ground. It's going to come out to Backwell, one would suggest. No, but Ben Moore with a hurried kick again.
Done.
Great kick to the top of the goal square.
Salopek.
And running into the goal square and taking the mark on his chest is that Crows Port Power listed player in Salopek, and he'll go back and have his shot from goal no further than 15 metres out, directly in front. Phil Herden.
Yep, Salopek has played 3 games for the Tigers, kicked 5 goals, 1, averaging 20 possessions, has really added some spark to their run.
He certainly has. Salopek, the youngster from Victoria, will come in now and kick what you think would be another goal for the Tigers, and he's done just that. Good start to the Tigers here at the NAP Oval. They lead the Central side 3 straight goals, 18. Central's 1 goal, 1. That's on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, and courtesy of the Torrens Arms Hotel, we'll go back to the studio and collect scores from all around the grounds.
South Adelaide 2-1-13. North yet to score. Eagles 3 straight 18 lead Port 1-2-8. West Adelaide 2 straight 12 lead Sturt 1 point. Carlton are 7-2-44 lead Brisbane 2-4-16, and Freo 7-2-44 lead Melbourne 5-5-35. Back to the NAP Oval.
You got those scores right back there, Peter. Unbelievable scores.
Yeah, Carlton 7 goals to 2. Gee whiz, that's a big surprise. The ball has been thrown up in the centre, and the umpire's found a free kick. It's going to go the way of Swatala. He'll kick it towards centre wing, grandstand side. Steinburner, the ball through his hand. He'll try and kick it up the ground. Well, I thought I was watching Swan Lake for a minute as he tried to kick that ball, but luck to fortune came to Cochrane. Cochrane up towards the full forward area. The ball spills towards the pocket. Leading in the race for the ball area is the Bays. They tap it for the safety of the boundary line, and that was in fact Craig Statham. Over it goes as the Steinburner went to kick the ball off the ground.
Missed it.
And the ball actually bounced high, and he went up with it. And I swore I was watching Swan Lake for a minute. A little bit of ballet, Smitty.
Good recovery, though. Second time went right to the other player on the chest.
Okay, boundary throw in the forward pocket for the central side, but reading the bay better than anyone was Moore. Slipping over. Players going to be slipping over all day, you would suggest. Kimmy Costa picks up the ball and has been tackled after the initial kick. No, it's not going to Kimmy Costa. It's going to go back to one of the Raiders boys, I think. And he's got the free kick back there at half-back. Well, between half-back and back pocket. And that is Michael Raiders. And Glenelg doing a good job here at the NAP Oval at the moment. Playing some consistent attacking football. Raiders, half-back, grandstand side.
They're prepared to be in front, Smitty. They're prepared to put their body on the line at the moment.
Well, that's the bottom line, isn't it? If you're in front on days like today, you are going to get the free kick. As the ball comes in, Griffiths couldn't take it. Sujay Cook does pick it up. Gets a great handball over to Griffiths. Griffiths back over to the running player there in Ben Moore. Ben Moore with a lovely kick up to half forward. And finding Bradley Smith, and Smith is marked at the 49-metre mark. Will go back and have a shot and kick from around about 50. So good play there by the Bays.
Certainly was, Smitty, and their desperation is something we haven't seen from them for a while. And he is a thumping kick, this bloke. I don't know how he go in these conditions, but he can kick a footy.
1 goal, 3 for the season.
Bradley Smith will line up 45 metres out. Will kick from a 50-metre arc. Comes in, the kick's on its way. Looks pretty good off the boot. Will it make the distance? No, it won't. Just touched on the line and forced over the line for their first minor score. So Glenelg leading the Tigers 3 goals, 1, 19. They lead Central's 1-1-7. That is on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. You're on RPH Football with Dennis Brown.
Yeah, Hay kicks the ball out to the back pocket, taken there by Sainsbury, I think it was. He kicks it up towards the half-back flank. Off hands, though, beautifully read by Swatala. He'll kick it along centre wing. He's looking for a teammate there in Chris Gown. Through came Costa, though, did it superbly. Went in again and picked up the footy. Fell to the ground. They jump on top of him. There'll be another bounce down centre wing outer side of the NAP Oval. And if you've just arrived back in Australia after being out for 18 months or 2 years, formerly the Elizabeth Oval.
Yeah, Nat Finance doing a wonderful job supporting local football and doing a great job here at the Elizabeth ground.
The bounce down. Who's going to take the footy? Griffiths with a backhanded tap. Did it well. Backwell's about to run on it. They tackle him. The player there was Sandbury. It was a good tackle. He got rid of Backwell. The ball into a pack of players once again. No one can get free with the footy. And
tell you what, DB.
Yes, mate.
That Sainsbury's got a bit of pace about him.
Certainly has, as the umpire has
found
another free kick here. And
who's involved again?
Well, probably the Gowans boys, but I mean, something you like to see, the umpires picking these little niggly things up, because it just shows you who's in command out there as the ball is kicked up towards centre wing, or rather centre half forward. Bradley Smith came down on his Kyber pass, and that hurt as the ball is kicked up towards the pocket. Leading in the race for the ball was the newcomer for the Bays in Kruger, but it goes out of bounds in the right full forward pocket.
And the player that kicked the ball up there was Culpert too, so Keeping it in the area are the Tigers, fighting very, very hard to score here. Another score on the board at the 19-minute mark will be very valuable as it comes down. Scholar gets it down. Cook picks it up, turns around, dodges through. And is it Cook that's kicked the goal?
No,
it's Simon Nicholas. It was through the half-back flanker. We did have a chat to him on our football show on Thursday night. Great play there by Simon Nicholas kicking a goal. So the Tigers now go to 4 goals, 1, 25. They lead Central's 1-1-7. That is on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. Let's quickly go back to the studio and collect scores from all around the grounds.
South Adelaide 4-1-25 lead North 1 straight goal 6. West 3 straight 18 lead Sturt 3 points. Eagles 3 straight 18 lead Port 2-2-14. Half time Freo 7-2-44 lead Melbourne 6-5-41, and still playing Carlton 8-3-51 lead Brisbane 5-4-34. Back to the NAP Oval.
Bounce in the centre with the Bays doing particularly well as Sainsbury's got it for the Doggies, but he dropped it at a vital stage. The ball ricochets off a couple of boots and ends up with Blackwell. Got the handball over to Cook. Cook will run chip it short to Griffith. Griffiths with a hip handball was a bit ambiguous there because he set his teammate up as it came to Griffiths not Griffiths, it was Scholar got the handball over for the Doggies, put him under enormous pressure. The ball out towards the half-forward flank, kicked off the ground there by Healy. Only as far though as Costa, who went down to pick up the footy, but emerged without it.
Oh, played.
Came back in the handball. A series ball from Damien Raiders. Another free kick has been found though, and this time it'll go back to the Doggies and the Gowan boys in there again, and this time I'm pretty sure that he would have seen the recipient on this occasion.
No question is...
retaliator, I say, and the recipient was Jimmy Gowans. The ball up towards Slade. He went without the footy. The ball now into a pack of players. The Bays are playing desperate footy as it comes back out here to Damien Raiders. He got attacked after he got rid of the football. Comes to Big Griffith. He's got the ball in the middle and decides to go bang with a drop punt. It's a searching kick. Will go right inside the 50. Big pack of players out the back now. It comes to the player in Backwell. Backwell goes up inside the 50. Not quite inside the 50, but the kick's going to go through for another goal of the Tigers. And I tell you what, most of the people here are shell-shocked at the NAP Oval, including the commentators, because the Tigers have kicked 5 goals, 1, and they lead the Doggies 1-1.
Absolutely superb football, Phil Hurden.
Absolutely. Brett Backwell, he recruited from West Adelaide, where last year, all year for the Bloods, he kicked 11 goals. Thus far this season, he's kicked 12 for the Tigers. He is actually Glenelg's leading goal scorer thus far this season, and the last 2 weeks has kicked 7 and has been part of the Glenelg revival.
Certainly playing some inspired football today are the Glenelg side at the moment, playing real attacking football. The umpire throws the ball up. Griffith up against Scholar, comes down to no one in particular. Bello couldn't take it. In there also is Backwell. He's diving on the ball. Smack bang in the centre of the ground there. Well, the umpire want to be careful there because he did draw the ball back in underneath him. That player was Chris Gowans. But the umpire said, no, that's okay. And I'll throw it back up, smack bang in the middle of the NAP Oval. Up they go. Griffiths again gets the ball down. A quick kick there is smothered. That was come off the arms of Thomas. In the back there also is Steinburner sliding in on the ball. Bello over the top of it. Steinburner's put his arm up to say, well, can I have it today, boys? The umpire says, give him a free. Well, fair dinkum. I don't know about that one, DB. The player on the bottom of the pack there was Salopek, and...
yeah, well, he would have had to been good to get it out because the other player was sitting on top of him. But anyway, Steinburner's got a centre wing grandstand side. He'll put the boot to ball, go up inside the attacking 50. To say the Doggies need a goal is an understatement. Almost tapped on by Jimmy Gowan. Chris Gowans is there. Slade emerges with the footy. He gets the handball over. A chance now for Cochrane. He'll get legged surely. Umpire, no play on. He says that the ball's inside the attacking 50.
Well, just on that one, DB, exactly the same sort of situation there. Cochrane tried to break the tackle. Over here, Salopek had the ball he slid onto the ball. He was tackled, brought to the ground. If the free kick wasn't there for a legging, he should have been holding the ball because he's trying to break away.
Okay, as the umpire Smith gives his jurisdiction there, Chris Gowans kicks around the body, up towards the full forward area. Running onto it is Brockman for the Tigers. The handball back, gives it to his teammate there in Willie Neely, but Billy Neely kicks an absolute Barry Crocker. He put it straight out of bounds on the full, and the kick will go to Bello. Bello chip it in short to Swatala. He takes the mark. And that could be a costly mistake by Billy Neely.
Yeah, it certainly can be, because the one thing that the Glenelg side don't want is the Central side to kick another goal when we've played 23 and a half minutes of this first quarter. The Central side well and truly behind at this stage. 1 goal, 1-7. They trail the Glenelg side 5-1-31 as a change has been made, and coming off for the Central side is Luke Cowan. Coming on is Coulter.
Watala's kick's on its way. The goal umpire watches it sail through for a sausage roll, so it was a very costly kick by Billy Neely as the Doggies go to 2 goals, 1-13. They trail The Tigers 5-1-31. Let's go back to the studio for around the ground scores.
South Adelaide 5-3-33 lead North 1 straight goal 6. West 3 straight goals 18 lead Sturt 1-4-10. Eagles 3 straight goals 18 lead Port 2-2-14. Freo 7-2-44 lead Melbourne 6-5-41 at half time, and still playing Carlton 8-4-52 lead Brisbane 5-4-34. Back to the NAP Oval.
Yes, back here at the NAP Oval, it is Glenelg 5-1-31 leading the central side 2-1-13. Bello gets the ball over to Healy. Healy with a kick up to half forward. Anyone there can take the mark. No, they can't, but Stantham gets the punch down. Running in over the top of the ball again with Stantham. He gets it out to his teammate, and that player there picking up the ball is Robinson, and he's been set upon by about 3 Toggies players. As we see the player coming off, and that's backward coming off, and coming on is Armat. So that'll be a disappointing blow for the Tigers as Scholar gets the ball over to Bello. Bello with a hurry kick to no one in particular except for the Tigers player there in Costa. He can't pick it up, the slippery ball. Does force it towards the boundary line, and also forcing it towards the boundary line is Craig Robinson, and the ball will be thrown in between half forward and forward pocket, or half forward and wing I should say. Grandstand side with Centrals into attack, and Glenelg doing all the attacking at this stage. In it comes Griffiths up against Scholar. Griffiths from in front is giving the free kick away to Scholar over the top. And good to see. Well, hang on, one umpire's pointing the one way, and the other umpire's pointing the other way here. So, no, that's a free kick, and he's allowed to play on.
Well, that was complete confusion there, because I'm sure the other umpire said it should go the other way, and the umpire here said, no, it's going this way. Well,
this umpire here was in charge. But anyway, Jimmy Gowns ended up with the ball, and that free kick was supposed to be going to Scholar, so I don't know what happened there, but Jimmy Gowns has kicked it to centre half forward.
Well, how did Jimmy Gowns end up with?
Who knows? He's probably bludgeoned a free kick off the thing. Ends up with Scholar. Scholar gets a handball over to Arnott. Arnott over to Jimmy Gowns this time. He dodges, weaves. Here we get caught holding the ball this time. Well, I have seen everything. Now, Jimmy Gowns has got a free kick for over the shoulder, and he'll go back. And I suppose the free kick was really there when you look at it. It did tackle him high, but...
Yeah, but he had a prior opportunity to get rid of the footy.
Correct. Jimmy Gowns now will line up from 35. He's been called to play on. Has a shot at goal. A flying. It's been smothered off the boot too. And it's going to go through for a minor score. So good defensive work there by the Tigers as a bit of hufty-do goes on behind the play. And who's involved again?
The two girls.
They'd rather a feed than a fight, as they keep saying. As what's happened here? It's been a free kick at the...
well, I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
I think it's a free kick to Griffiths at the centre half forward position, centre half back position. So he's allowed to... No, Stantham's got the ball. Salafek's got the ball.
Yeah, I got no one. No, Nicholas has got
the ball now. Well, everything's happening here at the NAP Oval with an absolute shocking kick. Goes to the player there in Stansbury. He gets the ball to the outer side of the ground, looking for the player there in Swatala to run on the ball.
Oh, well done, Ben Moore.
Well done by Benny Moore too, as DB said. Gets the ball, kicks it back towards half forward, and it's going to go out of bounds in front of Salafek, leading to the race of the ball. The boundary line beats him. 27 minutes gone of this first quarter. 5-1-31. Glenelg leading Centrals 2-2-14.
Well, that was 3 or 4 minutes of footy that I had no idea what was going on, Smitty. I've got to be honest with you. The ball at half forward, outer side. In front is the big chappie there in Brad Smith. Came to... his teammate there in Armat, I think, has come onto the ground, kicked it into the pocket, and it's gone out of bounds. Right full forward pocket for the Tigers. They're kicking to the northern end of the NAP Oval, and it's right in front of the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, which shows the Tigers leading 5-1-31, the Doggies 2-2-14. Into a pack of players. Who's going to emerge with the footy? A kick for goal off the boot of Jay Cook, I think it was, just to the left-hand side, the goal umpire's right, and through for the minor score. But hang on, what's happening back here? There's a bit happening. Phil Hurden's got the binoculars on as the player goes to ground, and...
a bit of spite in this game, isn't it, at this stage? And it looks like the umpire is going to allow this...
It's going to be a free, and he's bringing the players over.
Well, he's bringing... I'm not sure what's going... You know, he's going to... It's obviously a Bay free kick, and he's going to put him right on the edge of the square.
Well, he's paid the free kick over there and then giving a 25-metre penalty is what I can suggest, because the free kick would have been around about 35 metres away from the top of the square. A free kick has been given. Nothing we could see, because we'd actually saw the point being scored, but the free kick has ended up with... I can't even tell you who's got the free kick at this stage. Is it going to be Culprit?
No, it's not. He's given it over to his teammate.
No, that is Culprit. Culprit coming in right from the front of the square, goes back and goes bang and kicks his first goal, and Glenelg's 6. They now go to 6 goals to 38, leading Centrals 2 goals to 14. That is on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. and something off the play there, Phil Hurd, has cost the Central side dearly.
I tell you what, on a day like today, you cannot afford to be giving goals away, because on a heavy ground with heavy rain showers coming in and out, the goals are going to be pretty rare. And I mean, gee, it's a 24-point lead to Glenelg at the moment. Obviously 3/4 to go, but Central Districts, they haven't trailed by this much in a game, I think, all season.
Well, actually, the player that kicked the goal, they ended up with the free kick, was a player that was involved with the two Gowans boys down here in the Heath Culprit. So perhaps the Gowans boys were trying to get even as the ball has bounced down, came to Costa. He got a free kick, went to Sujai Cook. Cook gave it over to Nearly up to half forward.
Oh,
and
good
a
mark.
No play onto the umpire. Claiming the mark, or attempting to, was Salopek, but the umpire said it must have been touched, I think. And there'll be a ball up just between centre wing and half forward for the Tigers on the outer side of NAP Oval. The umpire throws the ball up. Up they go, but the siren sounds to end, well, what can only be described as an amazing first quarter of football out here, with the Tigers leading surprisingly 6-2, 38 to Central District, 2-2 of 14 in this broadcast coming to you on 5RPH Football.
Yes, certainly is. And Phil Hurd, can you give us some goal scorers, please?
Well, it's all singles at the moment. Smithy for Glenelg, their goal scorers: Brett Backwell, Craig Robinson, Simon Nicholas, Stephen Salopek, Heath Culprit, and Josh Kruger, his first kick in league footy. Of course, it's probably more than you think on a day like today.
What Glenelg need to do now, DB, is really, if they are going to win this game, they really do need to make sure they kick 2 or 3 goals in this quarter and not let Central's peg them back.
Exactly right, and Brett Backwell running around the boundary line at the moment. He's got a problem with his thigh. He came off the ground towards the end of the first quarter, and he is a player that the Bays need out there for sure and certain, because he's a ball getter. And just at the moment, he's on the sidelines as the umpire holds the ball aloft, about to throw it into the air. Up it goes, Scholar and Griffiths. Griffiths to tap straight down the Mules. He kicks around the body, up towards half forward. Hereda leads in the race the ball. The ball goes over his head, tapped on inside the 50 by Smith, but it's all the doggies there is coming away with the football, and kicking it up here was Biscuits Arnott to Swatala at centre wing. Swatala then kicks around the body. Not a good kick. Slade will run onto it though. Gets the handball further afield. Gives it there to his teammate there in Brockman. Brockman up towards half forward. Out come the Tigers. They're desperate to clear the footy. They'll kick it towards the boundary line, but only as far as Swatala. If he can reach it inside the boundary. Oh, yes, just kept it in. Gets the handball over to Steinberg. Oh, he's gone. Wrapped up. Beautiful tackle. They got the free kick. Got the handball free, I should say. The umpire said, give it to me, boys. I'll bounce it.
One thing in that thing, you had 2 Bay players tackling the 1 Central's player, and that's good to see. And David Noble, the coach of the Tigers, will be very happy with that. As the umpire throws the ball up, centre wing, grandstand side, Scholar gets the ball back inboard, comes out to Costa. He ducks where no one would drive a tractor through, but leading in the race of the ball again, it's 3 Tigers again to 1 Central's. The ball comes out to Griffiths, gets through some traffic very, very easily. A quick kick up there to Culprit. Running in onto the ball this time is Davis for the Central side. He's been tackled from behind. Again, 2 players from Glenelg tackle the 1 player from the Doggies, and David Noble, coach from the Glenelg side, DB, will be very happy with that.
He'd be ecstatic with the way his players are performing at the moment, Smitty. They're hunting in packs and they're prepared to help each other out.
Scholar up again. He gets tapped down this time to one of the Gowans boys. No, it wasn't. It was off the hide that got the ball out. This time again off the hide, back in there. He comes with a hurried kick off the shin bone of Sujay Cook, and Luxa Fortune as it bounced 2 centimetres inside the line for a throw-in between half forward and a wing. Grandstand side as Glenelg are into attack. It is Scholar up against Griffiths. Scholar makes front position. This time Griffiths gets the ball back. It's not Griffiths. It was actually Bradley Smith that got the ball out to his teammate there in Nearly. Nearly goes with a high kick to half forward. In there picking up the ball this time is Cochrane for the Doggies. He gets a handball out, but no one can take it. Comes out to the arms of Armat. He gets a hurried kick and falling in the arms this time of the Central's defender, Simon Armat.
Yeah, Arnott kicks it out to off to Hide still in the defensive 50. Outer side will put the drop punt up towards the centre. We're pushing the back, and the umpire was right there to see it against Healy of the Doggies. There was no doubt about it. It was right there. And the recipient of the free kick is Raiders. Damien, he'll chip it to Ben Moore in the square. He dodges past, gets a handball over the top to Mules. Mules on the right boot, up inside the 50. Smith from behind comes down to Cook. Around the body goes Cook. It's a high ball towards full forward. He good use of the body at the back there by the Bay player, but it comes out the back. Scholar had a bit of trouble picking it up. Then he got it over to Steinburner. Steinburner into the back pocket, gives it to Arnott. Arnott further afield. He's got Bellow out at half back, outer side. Bellow dodges around, tries to dodge around, gets tackled, gets a hurry Free kick up towards centre wing. There's Graham, I think it was, kicks a high ball up towards the centre wing. Off for hand taken by Chris Gowns. A hurried kick goes straight up in the air. Who's going to be first there? The going in hard there to pick up the ball, in fact, was Krieg, and it goes out of bounds, centre wing out of side.
Thus far this quarter, Glenelg have had it 4 times inside 50, but have not added to their score as Backwell comes back on the field.
And the player coming off for the Tigers there is...
number 36, Ben Ahmat.
Ahmat. So the boundary umpire to throw the ball in, outer side of the ground between wing and half back. In it comes Steinburner up against... not Steinburner, it is Scholar up against Griffith. Glenelg get a hurried kick, couldn't pick up that player, but marking there for the Doggies is Arnott. Arnott comes inboard for Sainsbury. Keep saying Swansbury for some reason. He's got Steinburner running to the outer side. He leaves it, goes to Swatala. Swatala's got a player upfield and goes to that player, but a good sprawl there by the defender. Sees it coming to the arms of Backwell. He dodges, picks it up this time, gets a handball out to another running player. He goes in short with a quick kick over towards Griffiths. Goes over the top of his head, and Steinburner is in there, and he forces the ball between Sujay Cook and Griffiths out of bounds between wing and half forward grandstand side, where it is the Glenelg side 6 goals to 38, leading the Doggies 2 goals to 14 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, and we've played 5 minutes of this second quarter.
Boundary throw in, tapped down by Scholar. All running onto it was Billy Neely. Got met high to the umpire. And it was actually 6-1 half a dozen the other. Both players sort of ran towards the
Well, it was a contest, wasn't it?
Krieg was the other player, and the umpire's given it to Neely. He got the handball over to Salopek. Salopek on the right boot. Not a good kick, though. He picked out Biscuits Arnott, and Arnott will mark the ball centre wing grandstand side for the Doggies. Not a lot to kick to at the moment, which is unusual for the Doggy side.
Yeah, not a lot of run there, is there?
As Krieg runs right down the half-forward grandstand side, but he tips it short to Scholar, and Scholar takes the mark. Umpire said it wasn't 15, and comes back to Arnold from the handball. Then he sinks the slipper and goes up towards the attacking 50. Big Griffith was in front. He elected to thump it out. Bello, good use of the hands, kept the ball. Slade and he fight over it. In fact, it was Cochrane. The ball up towards the outside of the square, and good hip and shoulder there by Off to hide the ball back in. Grabbed by Scholar. He loses it. Stacks on the mill, will it be? The umpire says, give it to me, boys. I'll bounce it. His back will pick it up, and there'll be a bounce down in the centre of the NAP Oval.
Certainly will be. Good play there by both teams, going in hard and attacking the ball. Nothing asked and nothing given at this stage. Up they go. Scholar gets rid of Griffiths pretty easily. Comes out this time to Backwell. He's back on the ground, done very well. Gets through, gets a hurried kick up to half forward. Leading in the race of the ball there is a good play there by the player from Glenelg, and that was Kruger. He's got it back over to the front of the goal scoop, but no one there for the Tigers, and picking up the ball there is Off to hide. Off to hide goes to the outer side of the ground. He's got a player all on his own. Arnott's taken the mark at half back. He's got players running for him. He's stopped and propped, and now he's got to get the ball on quickly, but he's kicked it to a pack of players. I dare say Alistair Clarkson wouldn't, not Alistair Clarkson, Roy Laird wouldn't be too happy with that. Alistair Clarkson is actually with the Port Adelaide side now, isn't he? Well, there we go. Comes out to Centrals this time, running through the ball. This time is Hay. He gets a hurried kick up to centre forward. Costas underneath the ball. Couldn't take it. Comes out this time to Sainsbury. He can't pick it up. Quick handball there by Jimmy Gowns. He couldn't get the ball either. Over comes it again. 4 or 5 players around the fall of the ball. Marco Bello gets a quick handball out this time to a running player, and that running player there is Josh Coulter, I think, and he snapped truly. So good play there by the Doggy side. They just kept persisting, got the ball to half forward. Bello got the ball over to Josh Coulter, who snapped truly for the Doggies' 3rd goal. So they now go to 3 goals to 20. They still trail the Tigers 6-2-38 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. Let's quickly go back to the shootout for scores at all around the grounds.
South Adelaide 5-4-34 lead North 4-3-27. Eagles 6-1-37 lead Port 4-2-26, and Sturt 3-6-24 lead West Adelaide 3-1-19. Devon has won the St Ledger, beating Pitcairn, and Sadler Joe finishing 3rd. Back to the NAP Oval.
Yes, back here at the NAP Oval. Is that the start for the Doggies? Or we'll wait and see, as Bradley Smith actually got the tap. Arnott went in to grab the ball. In goes Nearly. He's met high. And there's Backwell and his opponent here having a wrestle back here.
The Gowns, you ever play that game Last Touch when you were a kid? You ever did the Last Touch? Yeah, they played all the time, don't they?
Yeah, but anyway, Steinburner picks it up at centre half back with a long drop punt up towards the half forward flank. Off hands. Who's going to be first there? Slade tries to pick it up, or tried to go through, head down. Couldn't do so. He drags the ball back under him, and it stacks on the mill. The umpire said, give it to me again, boys. I'll bounce it. Between centre wing, half forward, outer side for the Doggies. They trail 3-3-20. Glenelg leads 6-2-38 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. 18 points, 3 straight goals in favour of the Tigers. Bradley Smith took the ball out of the air, then tried to kick it, had an airy though as it goes into a pack of players once again nearly at the bottom of the pack for the Tigers. Once again, another ball up, Smithy. See if you can get it out of there, mate.
I'll try to get it out of there. Ball between wing and half-back. Only 1 goal added in this quarter thus far, and that is to the Doggies. Scholar gets the ball down, again to no one in particular. Again, 4 or 5 players jump on the ball. This time the umpire allows it to come out. Free kick being given to the Tigers. Yep, couldn't pick up who, but again it was Jimmy Gowans involved.
Well, normally the umpire indicates, but he didn't indicate on that occasion.
He just pointed to the Gowans boy and just said, right, you gave away a free kick. But anyway, Glenelg at half-back. Plays on. Nicholas, I think it is too. Yes, goes to that outer side of the ground with a left foot drop, punts to centre wing.
Not a good kick.
Not a good kick, but jumping in front there is a 250 gamer in Harada. Good strong mark there by Fighting Harada. He's marked it at half-back. Goes straight back down to the centre of the ground, looking for... There's 3 or 4 Glenelg players up. Comes down, Jimmy Gowans in there. He tries to get on top of it. Glenelg player again gets the ball out to a teammate there. I think that player there was Bradley Smith. He gets tackled high, comes out this time again to the running players. 4 or 5 Glenelg players in there, and Centrals are going to be rewarded with holding the ball. They come in this time, a long kick. That's Chris Gowans comes into the long kick to the Trusenar forward position. No one can take the mark. Bello read it to perfection, gets a hurry kick up there into the arms of Sanctuary. Play on's the call, touched off the hands, and a good clean play there by the umpire. I thought that was very well done. Ends up in the arms there of Sherwood. Sherwood right under the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, goes in short and finds Kimmy Costa at half-back. Costa comes back inboard to the true full-back position. He's going to come grandstand side this time and looking for a teammate there in Bradley Smith, and he runs onto the ball. They've changed directions completely. They've got Scholar up here now. They can't go long, so he's going to have to go short. He does just that and finds his teammate there in Robinson. Just using the ball well are the Tigers, going in short. Players making a runs for him. Moore has got the ball, grandstand side, centre wing, goes into a pretty ordinary kick there, but the two Centrals players spoil each other, and that gives the opportunity for the Damien Raiders to dive on the ball, hold the ball in the area, and the umpire says, well, I'll have it, boys, and throw it up. So good play there by Damien Raiders to hold that ball in that area, DB.
Certainly was, but the Tigers' disposal, just letting them down a little bit with their kicking when they come forward in this quarter, and a lot of times they've picked out a Central player, but on that occasion the Centrals drop the mark as it comes to Nicholas for the Bays. His kick is smothered. Healy on hands and knees, the bottom of the pack. He can't get rid of the footy, and was met high. The umpire said just blinded on that occasion, couldn't see what was going on, and there'll be a bounce down centre wing grandstand side. In fact, he'll throw it up, of course. Scholar up against Kruger on this time. The ball out the back, leading in the race. The ball there is Damien Raiders. He's tackled. The ball into a pack of players once again, right on the hard up against the boundary line, right in the interchange gates actually, and it's in front of the 5RPH commentary team. The umpire takes control of the footy and will throw it aloft once again. Kruger and this time Kingy was the player that came into meeting McKenzie, and there's a free kick being found. It'll go the way of Healy, is it? Or is it Biscuitana? No, Biscuitana, the recipient. He feinted the handball, and then the umpire said, not sure what he said, go across, but he didn't take any notice, and then kicked the footy along centre wing, up at the back, thumped forward towards the boundary line by Costa. It's going to stay in play as McKenzie is in there. He picks it up, and the handball is clever. Along the ground, out comes Biscuitana, and I'll courage the Biscuits there, and he's going to get a free kick. He put his head down, he wanted the football. No doubt in my mind the free kick was there. In my mind, I should say, the free kick was there, Smitty.
Okay. Arnott gets the ball over to Steinburner, going backwards. They're going to cross the ground this time. Steinburner's looking upfield to see who he can kick it to. He's got, well, no one in particular there. It's 2 or 3 players, but no one's going to run under it. They do this time, and that player is tackled. He gets a hurry kick, but it's 3 Glenelg players there diving on the ball, and a bounce down will take place. Centre wing outside of the ground here at the NAPA, but where it is the Doggies 3 goals to 20. They trailed the Tigers 6 goals to 38, so 18 points in favour of the Tigers at the moment, as the umpire has indicated a blood rule. And Phil, who's the player that's coming off?
We'll soon tell you in a minute, Smithy. The game's settling up interesting here. Central's kicked the first goal of the quarter. Hasn't been very high scoring at all, and you get the feeling Centrals are trying to exert something here, but Glenelg just isn't letting them. And well, in that play where they were on the centre wing, they had 2 possessions, went virtually around the Glenelg goals to the other wing, and still can't find the open players to set up a forward sortie.
Yeah, Harada's a player with the coming off of the blood rule. Have a look here. He's got blood coming from the nose, has he? Reminds me of the time when Fighting Arada fought Johnny Famishon. He had a bit of blood coming from the nose as well as the
what we'll do.
Umpire is about to bounce the ball. We're going to check some scores.
We will check some scores.
Eagles 6-2-38 lead Port 5-3-33, Sturt 5-7-37 lead West 4-1-25, South 6-6-42 lead North 4-4-28, and Fremantle 9-2-56 lead Melbourne 8-5-53. Back to the NAP Oval.
Back here, the ball is thrown up. Bradley Smith got the tap down to Bellow though. He tried to burst his way through the pack, couldn't do so. Chris Gowns claiming for a free kick, but the ball eases over the boundary line for a throw-in. Centre wing out of side. So just the one goal kicked in this quarter.
And then we played 13.5 minutes.
Of Coulter for the Doggies. And the Tigers hanging on desperately to an 18-point lead as the boundary umpire throws the ball back. McKenzie and Smith. Smith with a big thump. Who's going to be first there? Ben Moore put a hand out. Couldn't trap the ball. Goes up the half forward. Slade was pushed from the side as the kick from the base goes up the half forward. The player there in front dropped the mark. It's pushed out of it, and it stacks on the mill there as the ball's at centre wing out of side. And it's become a bit of a slogging game at the moment, Smitty, with both sides desperate to take control of the footy and start something for their respective sides.
The key to it at the moment, mate, is that you've just got to play in front. The Glenelg player, and David Noble, the coach of Glenelg, would be very disappointed his player there that was playing from behind. But although he did spoil the ball, which is one good thing, but if he was in front, he might have held the mark. You see, that was the difference.
OK, umpire threw it up and straight into a pack of players once again. We had a few ball-ups. You'd expect in the slippery conditions as McKenzie for the Dogs in front. Big thump though, and what's happened here? A free kick will go the way of McKenzie. Over the shoulder against Smith. And McKenzie had no doubts the free kick was his. So he's going to kick and bomb the Doggies into attack, half forward right. Big pack of players. It's something up the back, in fact. Biscuits aren't at one of the first there, is he? Kicks it off the ground inside the 50. Here's the chance now. The handball over the top from Stansbury into open goal. I think it's Coulter or Cowan, one of the two.
Coulter.
Might have been Coulter again. Yep. So 2 goals to Coulter in this quarter have drawn the Doggies to within 12 points of the Tigers. They're 4-2-20. The Tigers are 6-38.
Yeah, well, I mean, the game's been going to and from a bit, not much movement. Suddenly the open space created and Centrals have banged on 2 goals. Inside 50s this quarter, Glenelg had about 4 of the first 5. Couldn't put a score on the board. The Doggies' last 2 entries inside 50 have been 2 goals.
I think the difference so far has been Griffiths hasn't been in ruck. It's been Smith been in ruck for him, and that's where Griffiths was doing such a good job. Nevertheless, it's come out this time, the Costa from the centre bounce, and just saying that he's going to run through the centre, gets onto the right foot, a big kick up there. Sujay Cook has to stand his ground, does just that, brings the ball down, gets legged, I thought, but the umpire said no, that's okay. And McKenzie picks the ball up, has an airy, and then again Davis picks it up for, not Davis, it is Hay, gets the ball onto the right foot, goes up the half forward. Cochrane's in there for the Doggies, standing his ground and doing it very well there for the Tigers was Statham. But again, it's the Doggies get the ball over. Bellow overruns it, comes out this time to Costa. He can't pick the ball up. 4 or 5 players dive on the ball, and the umpire will have to come in and give it to me, boys. And just been different in this quarter, DB. I think as Griffiths hasn't been on the ground, Smith has been in ruck, and all of a sudden the Coulter and the players from Scholar from Centrals have been getting the ball down.
Right, it was picked up by
Costa.
He was tackled. McKenzie's got it for the Doggies. The handball out was a beauty. Gave it to Bellow. Bellow in turn to Jimmy Gowns. Up into the pocket goes the footy. Big Brockman comes through for the Bays and thumps it over the boundary line for a throw-in. Left full forward pocket for the Doggies.
To emphasise your point, Smithy, we mentioned those clearances from stoppages. It was 12-5 Glenelg in the first quarter. It's 6-5 Glenelg this quarter thus far.
Okay, Griffiths in there this time. It comes out this time over to Cochrane. He can't take it. Also diving back on the ball there was Costa. He's been tackled, and the umpire will have to say, I'll have it, boys, and I'll throw it up around about 48 metres out from goal at the northern end, the end that the Doggies are kicking to. They still trail by 12 points in this game here. Again, it comes out this time to Cochrane. He gets a hurried kick. This time it comes forward. The Glenelg player runs on the ball, does it very well in Raiders, gets a handball towards the boundary line and sees it going over the boundary line. Is it Backwell?
Yes.
And Backwell sees the ball over the boundary line, and a throw will take place at the true half-forward position here at the NAP Oval. Grandstand side. Boundary umpire throws the ball back in. Griffiths again gets the ball down. And again, it comes over. Good tapped in there by Jimmy Gowns. Got it over to Arnold, I think it was. 3 or 4 players dive on the ball again, right on the 50-metre arc, DB, and see if you can get it out of there this time.
The umpire will throw the ball up. 50-metre area for the Doggies. They trail by 2 straight goals as the umpire throws the ball up. Griffiths to tap, but only down as far as Swatala. Swatala kicks into the front of the square. First out there is Cowan. He got the handball back out here to Stanbury. Stanbury around the body. The kick's fading away as they're coming back. It's coming back. Touched right off the line by Brockman. It looked like it was going to go through. It wasn't a bad snap. It
looked like Brockman was just going to watch it go through. And then suddenly at the last minute,
yeah, just put the hand up and the minor score recorded. So the Doggies now within 11 points of the Tigers. They're 6-2-38. The Tigers, the Doggies, 4 goals, 3-27. Umpire tells Michael Raiders to hurry up as he kicks it out to the half-back flank. Down it comes, taken by Bellow. Bellow's handball's a beauty to Arnott. Arnott goes bang in towards full forward. Up they fly and thump through. Is it kicked off the air? Whoa, gee whiz, almost an amazing goal there to the Doggies, but a free kick has been found. Is there? Yes, a free kick to the Doggies, and don't you like to get him there, Smitty? Right in front, and the free kick has been found. It'll go the way of Richard Cochran.
Well, mate, I've never got a free kick in my life when I was playing, so I've never got a free kick there. I would love one there, but never got one.
So that explains your attitude to umpires.
No, I'm very, very good friendly with the umpires, I must admit. Anyway, Cochran comes in and bang through a goal for the Doggies. So just to edge them a little bit closer now. They're just trailing by the 5 solitary points here at the NAP Oval as they go to 6 goals, 3-33. They trail the Doggies 7-2-38. That is on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. We'll go back to the studios and collect scores from all around the grounds.
Port Adelaide 7-4-46, lead the Eagles 6-3-39. South 6-6-42, lead North 4-4-28. Also got Sturt 6-7-43, leading West 5-1-31. Fremantle 11-2-68, lead Melbourne 9-5-59. And Carlton 9-4-58, lead Brisbane 7-7-49. Back to the NAP Oval.
Back in the centre of the ground, the throw-up, it is Mackenzie against Griffiths. The ball comes out to no one in particular. 4 or 5 players dive on the ball again. And another throwdown will take place, or a throw-up, I should say, will take place. Just grandstand side of the centre pitch.
We've had 9 secondary or tertiary bounces this quarter.
Okay, down, up they go again. No one takes it in particular. It just comes straight down. 4 or 5 players rattle on the ball again. Kimmy Costa dives in there, but a quick soccer off the ground by Jimmy Gowes. Falls in the arms of Raiders. He's able to play on. He gets a hurry kick trip that goes straight into the arms of Swatala. Swatala bangs it up the forward, looking for the player there in Scholar. He could take it running out with the ball there for the Glenelg side was Healy. He can't take it again. 4 or 5 players dive on the ball. It's left to the player there for the Tigers to pick it up. That player there is Sherwood, I think it was. Comes out again. Falls in the arms of the Tigers. And the player who kicked the goal there was Chris Downs, who's kicked his first goal, and the Tigers now have fallen behind. Sedgers have hit the lead, 6 goals, 3-39. They lead the Tigers 6 goals, 2-38 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard.
Well, that was just persistent, tenacious play by the Central's attackers. Every time Glenelg defender got the ball, there was a Central player attacking. You could see them going backwards, trying to find some open space. There wasn't any there. Eventually the ball coughed up, and Chrissy Gowans, who's had an interesting, if not volatile game thus far, found himself with a shot on goal. Doggies in front.
Down goes the bounce. Can the Tigers retaliate? Taken by Salopek. He lost it to McKenzie, though, who kicked around the body. Up towards centre half forward. Quinton Graham high into the air. The ball comes to ground. Kicked off the ground by Bellow. Leading out for the race, though, is Michael Raiders. I'll get it right in a minute. He kicks it to back with a half back. The handball back looking for and finding Costa. Costa handballs back to Bachman. They're under pressure for the first time in the game. The Tigers back. It comes to Costa. He's pulled over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in. Left half forward grandstand side for the Doggies, who've hit the front for the first time in this game. 6-3-39 as the chant starts up. Well, they've been buried 6 feet under the ground up until now, but there they are singing as the ball comes out. Chance for McKenzie. He gets the long handball, clever handball to Swatala. Swatala will chip it short. Why he did that, I'll never know, because he should have had a shot for goal. And it was touched right on the last line by Billy Neely for the Tigers and through for the minor score. So the Doggies go to 6-4-40. They lead the Tigers 6-2-38.
Raiders to bring the ball back in for the Tigers. Waiting for the big fella to get out there. He's just now comes to that outer side of the ground where the player there is Statham. He can't take it. Griffiths also there, forces the ball back forward, but again it's just all Doggies. A quick kick up forward, falls in the arms of their leading player, and as we said, you've got to play in front, and if you are in front you've got all the opportunity, and the player who's taken the mark there will pick him up in a minute.
I think it's Coulter again.
It's Coulter again, I think. Josh Coulter, who's already kicked 2 goals in this quarter. in front of his direct opponent, DB, and will line up from around about 35 metres out on a very, very slight angle.
Yeah, all of a sudden this game's changed, hasn't it, Phil?
Oh, mate, absolutely. Calder this far this season. 14 goals, 5. One of the reserves premiership players from last season.
We'll come in now and have a shot. 35 metres out, slight angle, the kick's on its way, the crowd like it, the goal umpire like it, the Centrals players like it, the scoreboard pendant has changed it from 6 to 7. 7 goals, 4, that is 46. They lead the Tigers 6 goals to 38. That is on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. You're on RPH Football with Phil Hurden.
And thanks to the Central Army of Statisticians here this afternoon, a quick reminder, also the reserves McGarry medalist last year. So
well done.
Has made the step up for regular league appearances, played every game, and is one of the Doggies' leading goal scorers, and certainly today the only multiple goal scorer with 3. And well,
all in this quarter.
I mean, we had Glenelg, who really opened up the second quarter strongly. They had the first 4 sorties inside 50. They've come away with nothing. Now the Bulldogs have got the run, and they're running away with it.
Okay, back in the centre square, it is Griffiths up against Mackenzie. Umpire throws the ball up. Griffiths goes over the top, comes out to Bello. Off the ground again with Griffiths. Bello in there again trying to get the ball out. Comes out this time to Backwell. He can't take it. Swatala's in there. He has an airy, but it comes out again to Backwell. He's been tackled, but pinching it there for the Thomas for the Doggies. Gets a hurry kick, comes in the arms of Costa. Costa comes grandstand side looking for Sujay Cook. He's got time to run on it and pick it up. You would suggest he does just that. Looks up this time, goes in to a high kick looking for Griffiths. Griffiths doesn't get there, but standing the ground there for the Tigers was Salopek. He couldn't take it. Thomas is in there again. Comes out to Mackenzie. Mackenzie's got to play. If he can pick it up and get by, he does just that. This time he goes in with a long drop punt, looking for that player greening Coulter. Coulter gets his player underneath it, works back on the ball, picks it up, gets a handball over to Chris Gowans. Chris Gowans works the ball back there to Slade. Slade gets past his opponent too easily, and he's just been tackled down. That player there is Josh Coulter again, and the umpire, a good chase and a good tackle and good recovery from the Glenelg players, their DB.
Well, that looked a certain goal, didn't it? But they didn't give up the Tigers, and consequently they got the free kick as the kick comes out here to Brockman. Brockman will bring the ball up here looking for Griffiths. Well, Griffiths was hung on to there, and the umpire saw it, but he's going to take it. In fact, what happened was he played it the other way. Well, I don't believe that, because Jimmy Gowans actually grabbed Griffiths and flung him away, and the umpire's paid it over the shoulder as the ball goes inside 50. A chance now for Sherwood to take the ball for the Tigers. Kicks it out to the defensive 50. Leading in the race for the ball is Robertson. He'll go bang towards the boundary line. That's where the footy goes for a boundary throw in right half forward flank outer side for the Doggies.
Okay, the scores here. Central 7 goals, 4, 46. The Tigers 6 goals, 2, 38. The Tigers yet to add a score in this quarter, and we've played 26 minutes, so one would suggest it's going to be pretty tough for them to add a score. Up they go again at the 50-metre arc. Central's again coming out with the ball. It comes in with a long kick by Slade. He comes up to half forward and hit high and will receive a free kick. Is the Central's player, and he's Marco Bello, and he'll go back and have a shot, one would suggest, from around about 40 metres out on a slight angle. So the Central side doing all the attacking at quarter time. They were 2 goals 2, and they've now added their score to 7 goals 4. So they've added 5 goals 2 in this quarter, and the Tigers yet to add a score. So wasn't Bello, it was Swatala that's going to get the free kick. And has Swatala kicked the goal yet, Phil? He's kicked one.
He's 1-1 thus far for this afternoon.
Okay, Swatala has played 76 games for the Doggies and has kicked 40 goals in his career. Will line up for his 42nd goal, you would suggest, and he just leans back. Too easy for the Doggies. That's just straight, easy football for him. 8 goals, 4, 46. He's second, takes his total of career goals to 42. That is the Central score, 8, 4, 46, leading the Tigers 6 goals, 2, 38. That is on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard.
Well, no team looks better when they're in full flight than Central Districts, and they've been in flight for about the last 12 minutes of game time. 14 minutes in, they'd only kicked 1 goal for the quarter. They've nailed the last 6. And I reckon within that last 12 minutes, it has not gone inside Glenelg's forward 50. It has all been down the northern end of the ground.
Up they go to the free kick way back here. And I'm not too sure what it is.
Blood rule from the Central's forward 50.
Oh, okay. Well, way back there, so...
That's not a free kick, though, surely.
Just a blood rule.
No, he's obviously blown the whistle to hold
what we'll do, we'll go back to the studio, collect scores from all around the grounds with Peter Greco and the team back there. We're here at Central's. It is 8 goals, 4, 52, leading Glenelg 6 goals, 2, 38.
Yes, half-time, it's Port Adelaide 8-4-52. They're leading the Eagles 6-3-39. Half-time Sturt 6-9-45. Lead West Adelaide 6-2-38. Still playing in the other match where South Adelaide 7-7-49. Lead North 5-5-35. Across the border, Fremantle 13-2-80. Lead Melbourne 9-5-59. And Carlton still on top 9-4-58. Lead Brisbane 7-10-52. Let's go back to the NAP Oval.
Griffiths back in there, gets the ball out, but picking it up there for the Doggies is Arnott. He's got the ball out to Davis. Davis with a long kick up to half forward, looking for Coulter in there. He couldn't take the mark. He leading in the race for the ball this time and doing it very well was Bello, I think it was. Comes back to McKenzie. It was Cochrane too. Cochrane gets it to McKenzie. McKenzie with a long kick to the true full forward position, but jumping in there and taking a good mark for the Tigers is Bradley Smith. As the siren sounds for half-time, so a disappointing quarter there to the Tigers. Didn't add to their quarter-time score of 6 goals too, where Centrals did add 6 goals.
As planned, you had those 3 teams that took the lead and nobody else got close to them. At least this year, unpredictability has reigned. A few quick stats, inside 50, Centrals 18, Glenelg 14, Freeze, Centrals 13, Glenelg 11.
Oh, I was very impressed with that, Phil. He should be a politician, mate. Down, up goes the ball, actually, and McKenzie in opposition to Griffiths. The ball emerges with Raiders. He kicks it on the left boot up towards the half-forward flank. Offhand, Steinburner will be first there if he can gather it in inside the boundary line. He can't. He actually got his hands on the footy, but then it slipped free. Gone over for a boundary throw in. Left half-forward flank, grandstand side for the Doggies. They lead, of course, 8-4-52. Glenelg 6-2-38. Didn't add to their quarter-time score, which must have been very disappointing. As the ball is thrown in, up they go. McKenzie out the back, taken there by Slade. His hurried kick up towards centre wing. In front, Bello thumps it down. Backwall will run onto it. He's carrying an injury for sure. He looked to flip the ball out there. Looked like a throw from here. The umpire said, play it on, boys, as Costa grabs the footy. They grab him. There'll be a ball up centre wing, grandstand side of the NAP Oval.
Yes, as Costa gets up and hands the ball back to the umpire. McKenzie up against Griffith, finds one front place and goes to get the ball over. This time leading in the race, the ball there comes out from Moore to Backwell. Backwell turns around on the right foot, goes up with a long kick towards half forward. Steinburner's in there for the Doggies again, picks it up very well, gets it back to Hay. Hay over Arnott is over the top to Spatala. Spatala turns around and goes with a long kick up to true centre half forward position. Cochrane's in there, he couldn't take it. Moore's in there for the Tigers. He gets up, gets tackled, gets thrown back down to the ground, and 4 or 5 players jump on him, and the umpire says, well, it's going to be pretty hard to get it out of there, so we will throw it up. Centre half forward, grandstand side. Very dark here at the Elizabeth Oval, or NAP Oval. McKenzie gets the ball over to the running play in Gowan. He gets the ball with a hurried kick. No one in particular can get it. It comes out this time to the player there from Glenelg and Mules. He gets a hurried kick towards the grandstand side. Healy's in there for the Doggies. He gets a handball to himself, gets it over to Cochrane, back to Healy. Healy into Marco Bello, back to Healy. Put this down for a goal. It'd be fantastic if he gets it. Great play by the Doggies. You saw that coming from a mile away, and Healy there with a couple of quick handballs, gets it over to Bello. Bello back to Healy. Healy through for his first. Great play.
Well, it was, wasn't it? I was wondering how Healy was going to get onto his left boot, and all he did was keep running, and then finally he got the footy about 25, 30 metres out, Phil, and that was a great sausage roll, a great build-up.
Well, that was certainly the goal of the day. Looked like a bit of a training drill. Glenelg just sit there, watched in awe pretty much. And, I mean, that is Central's 7th straight goal in this football game, and they are going ahead in absolute leaps and bounds.
Yeah, something the Tigers didn't want, I can assure you, as McKenzie gets the tap down. Chris Gowns went to pick up the footy, then was bumped out of it, picked up by Biscuits Arnott. He loses it, kicked off the ground, comes out the back here. A chance now for Raiders of the Damien variety, then gathered by Slade. He bangs it up inside 50 again, up they fly. The ball to ground, kicked off the ground by Cochrane. I'll tell you what, the ground to young Cochrane. So the Doggies have started all guns blazing in this third quarter. They go to 10 goals for 64. The Bays are stagnant on 6 goals to 38, and they haven't scored since quarter time, boys.
No, things aren't looking too good for the Tigers. Ominous signs for the Doggies though, Phil. They've kicked the last 8 goals in a row.
Absolutely. I mean, everyone's getting on the act. And the thing about Central Districts that's impressed me this year is the way that a lot of their fringe players last year, Richard Cochran, the goal scorer, one of those, have really stood up to the league ranks and are probably some of the better players on the paddock.
Griffiths up against Mackenzie this time. The Tigers players are standing a little bit away from the fall of the ball this time. It comes out to Backwell. He runs through the centre of the ground, gets a long drop punt up to centre half forward. Over the back there, it is no one in particular can take the ball. Smith's in there. Sujay Cook also off the ground by Tyson Hay to the outer side of the ground. Again, no one can take the ball. This time it gets picked up by, I think it's Smith there for the Raiders. It was too. Gets it over to Backwell. Backwell has a shot for goal, and that is a minor score. So the first score to the Tigers since the first quarter, they now go to 6 goals, 3-39. Still trail the Doggies 10-4-64. That is on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard as Nathan Steinberner will bring the ball back in for the Doggies, and one would suggest he'll go to that outer side of the ground looking for and finding off the hide over the top there to Chris Gowns. Chris Gowns got Healy on his own if he can get over to him quickly. Now goes towards that player, but chipping in also is Jimmy Gowns. He can't take it. Comes over the back to the player there from the Tigers in Statham. Statham gets it over the top to Bachman. Bachman with a hurried kick up to Costa. Costa to the true centre half forward position now, looking for Nicholas. He can't mark it. Comes to the ground, but Centrals have just got the numbers. A good hip and shoulder bump too. That really hurt that player. He's still down. We'll try to get that player who it was, but again, it is the Centrals players clearing the ball to that outer side of the ground. Jimmy Gowns gets it in, pits it off to his teammate there in I think that was Chris Gowns, up to the centre half, up to the true wing position, comes back in board to Backwell. Backwell's got it at the centre half forward position, gets past these opposition player pretty easily. Beautiful kick out to a leading player, and that player taking the mark for the Tigers is Salapak.
And Matty Slade was the recipient of that bump. I think it was from Simon Nicholas.
Well, Salapak's mark DB, 35 metres out, 45-degree angle, and has already kicked 1 goal.
Yes, and he's a beautiful kick for goal, this young lad. In fact, I think the hip and shoulder came from Michael Raiders, to be honest with you. And gee whiz, it stopped Evil Roy in his tracks as Salapak should kick this.
Yeah, Salapak goes back, leans back on it, and does the true thing for his club. And Brett Backwell, great play there by Brett Backwell to find the leading Salapak. Salapak has goal. So they now go to 7 goals, 3-45. They still trail the Doggies 10-4-64. That is on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. We've played just under 6 minutes of this third quarter, and could Glenelg be making a charge?
Well, they certainly had the last 2 minutes of domination, put it that way. And I mean, they got a goal on the scoreboard, which they haven't had for well over a quarter and a fair bit. And I mean, the two players that are going to get them back, are you looking at Backwell and Salapak in on that play? And yes, some hope for Tiger fans.
Up they go. The ball in contention. Bello pounced on it with the left footer. Goes out to the half-forward flank. Leading in the race for the ball is Stansbury. Picks it up beautifully. Eludes a couple of Tigers and in chip short, looking for Quinton Graham. But over the back, Brockman takes the mark for the Tigers in a defensive 50. So Brockman, Lee Brockman. Not a lot of options forthcoming, so chips it out to just outside the defensive 50 and finds Kimmy Costa. Still backward of half-back if there's such a position, and he chips it short to Michael Raiders. It will show short at bounce. Michael Raiders had somehow eludes 3 or 4 central players, but he was under pressure to do it. Bello picked it up, he lost it, came back to Michael Raiders. He tipped it over the top, gave it there to Ben Moore. Moore running towards centre wing, threw the ball away. The umpire said play on as it comes about inboard now to the player there in Damien Raiders, up towards half forward, but Davis in front this time of his opponent in Kruger takes the mark. So this time it's in a defensive 50 for the Doggies. And the former Rooster, Tim Davis, with the footy, will bring it to the grandstand side. He's looking there for a couple of players, Stala and Biscuits Arnott. In fact, it wasn't Stala, it was one of the Gowns boys, Jimmy variety, as the ball is marked by Biscuits Arnott. Chips it up looking for Hay, and Hay, it's Saturday, takes the footy, runs onto the left boot and bangs it up inside the 50 at the back. Chris Gowns couldn't do it. He almost took the one-hander. It's into a pack of players, stacks on the mill, the umpire waving play on as the Doggies trying desperately. Here's a chance, they're picked up by Quinton Graham. The check side is just to the right-hand side of the goal for a minor score to the Doggies. 10-5-65. They lead the Tigers 7-3-45.
Give some kudos to the umpires there too for letting the play go on. Let the players sort it out, and Centrals came away with the ball eventually.
Sherwood goes in short to Backwell. Backwell's marked at centre half forward. Centre half back, I should say. Goes to the outer side of the ground looking for Brockman. Brockman's marked at the half back. Tries to get past Gets caught, could be caught holding the ball, pushes the ball back. Lucky there for Brockman and Glenelg. Costa ends up with the ball on the 50-metre arc. Gets it back to Brockman, who goes with an up and under handball under pressure. The doggies will get out of this. You can bet you anything like that. No, free kick. Well, Lux of fortune, yeah. Robinson gets the ball. He goes inboard, finds his teammate there in Statham. Statham puts the ball in the bed. You want to hurry up because you get caught behind. Comes up to a shocking kick. Harada, you've got Hay, you've got 4 Centrals players there, and they will run it out quite easily, and they do just that. Ends up with the ball at Thomas. Gets it back to Hay. Hay at the true wing position goes to the long kick. Under pressure has kicked the ball out of bounds on the full.
He wasn't under pressure, Smith.
Well, didn't he he got tackled, I reckon, at there. Oh, well, ended up with Kimmy Costa.
It was an easy kick for him. He's beautiful exponent of the drop punt and put it straight out of bounds on the full.
That pole was in your way there. Kimmy Costa goes with a drop punt to centre wing. No one can take the ball. Go through everybody. Statham picks the balls up, gets it over to Sujay Cook. He's been caught, goes back inboard there to Brockman, I think it was, and not Brockman. It was Brockman. Yeah, free kick again off the ball. And let me see who's running away from there. One of the Gowns boys? No, I shouldn't say that.
No, he's hung on to it. Wasn't no fisticuffs or anything. So the Tigers through... too sure who that is, but he kicks it up inside the 50 out the back. The doggies will be there. Good clever tap on enables Healy to pick up the footy. Healy bangs it out, and it's all the Tigers here. Picking it up is Damien Raiders. What's he doing? He's running inwards, he's running outwards. He gives it the back. Well, back will flick it out to Moore. Moore's in more stripe than Mandrake. Got the handball out to Armat. Dodges, weaves and puts it on the right boot. Into the pocket it goes. Leading in the race for the ball is Davis, and he's happy to take it over the boundary line for a throw-in left full forward pocket for the Tigers. And if you've just tuned in on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, it's 7-3-45 the Tigers, but they trail the doggies 10-5-65, and you're with Daryl Smith on 11.97 5RPH football.
You certainly are. In comes a throw in. It comes over the back there to Mackenzie. He's got it straight down into the arms of the Glenelg player in Raiders. He's had a hard, hurried kick a goal, but it's... Well, it's landed in the arms of Griffiths, I think it was. Mackenzie's put the hand on the back and he's been given the free kick. Anyway, the doggie's going to run the ball out to that outer side of the ground, and it comes out there to Biscuits Arnott. And he's taking the mark at half back, goes up to the true centre wing position. In there is Costa. He couldn't take the ball, comes over the back there, and it's been forced over the boundary line for a throw-in. Outer side of the ground here, centre wing, true centre wing position, where it is Central's 10 goals, 5-65. They lead Glenelg 7-3-45, 20-point ball game in favour of the doggies. They did lead by 14 points at quarter time, at half time, I should say. Anyway, the ball comes back into Backwell. He goes up to the beautiful kick to the true centre forward position. Marking it there was Smith. Smith goes up and under looking for Salopek, but cut off there by the 250 gamer in Harada. He's punched it over towards Healy. Healy goes to the outer side of the ground and finds his teammate there in Hay. Hay comes inboard to his other teammate in Krieg. Krieg has got Scholar here all on his own. He can have a bounce if he wants to. Chooses not to. Goes with a long kick up to the leading forward. Dropping there was Josh Calder. Could have taken it, but it just fell through his arms. Keep forcing the ball through is that Sainsbury play. He gets the ball quickly over the top there. Well picked up by Raiders. Raiders has got it over there to Mules. Mules back to another player there in Raiders. And the umpire has to come in and say, well, I'll have it, boys. Good bit of play there by the defensive action from the Glenelg to stop that forward thrust of the doggies.
Well, they're a little bit lucky there as taking it out of the air as Scholar then had it there as he tried to
holding the ball,
and the umpire gives the advantage to the Tigers as Armat touches the ball on the ground inside the defensive 50, then goes for the safety of the boundary line because it was all the doggies, but it's not going to reach it because Biscuits Arnott picks it up, flips it over to Davis. Davis over the top to Swatala. Swatala at the true centre wing position, bangs a high ball inside 50, big pack of players. Up was Griffith, down was Mule, tipped it over to Costa. Costa still on the defensive 50, goes short to Nicholas. Nicholas thrown onto the ground after he got rid of it. There's one thing I don't like to see in footy. The player's got his arms pinned. There's always a chance he's going to hit his head on the ground when he's defenceless at defending himself, and Nicholas has got the ball. Grandstand side, half back. And the doggies in control, so the Tigers have to get a couple of quick ones as Nicholas kicks a left footer. Comes along centre wing, big pack of players offhand. Sujay Cook read it well. He flipped the handball out the back while he's leading in the race for the ball. Got a little shove from Krieg and then kicked the low ball along the ground. Krieg gave it to Healy. Healy to Thomas. Thomas with the right boot up inside 50. The lead is on from Calder. Up he goes. Couldn't take the mark. The ball or player met high and he'll get a free kick. It will go back and it's one of the Gowns boys. I knew straight away it was one of the Gowns boys because you would have thought he'd been hit with a 303, and it's Jimmy Gown to go back and have a shot for goal and kick from about, I reckon, 45.
Yeah, that game I was talking about, last touch, he had to got up there and had to have the last touch again at the Glenelg opponent. He does it every time. Jimmy Gown's been a great player since he's come over from St Kilda for the Doggies. Will line up, as DB said, 45 metres out, virtually directly in front, and should have any trouble with the kick. Goes back, leans back on it, and the crowd behind the goal like it. The goal umpire likes it, as does the central scoreboard. They now go to 11 goals, 5. He's first, 71. They lead the Glenelg side at this stage, 7 goals, 3, 42. That is on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. Let's quickly go back to the studio and collect scores from all around the grounds.
Sturt 8-10 58, lead West 8-4 52. Port 10-5 65, lead the Eagles 9-3 67. South 8-8 56, lead North 5-8 38. Fremantle 16-5 101 have defeated Melbourne 10-11 71, and Brisbane 17-12 114 lead Carlton 11-8 74. Back to the NAP Oval.
And back here at the NAP Oval, it's Griffiths up against Scholar. Down that goes again to no one in particular to take the ball out. And the umpire will have to come in and give it him. Mules it went to, but he was set upon by a couple of the Doggy supporters. Interesting result there by Fremantle. First time they've won 4 games in a row, so good effort there by the Fremantle players. Gowns gets the ball out, but it's picked off there by Costa. He gets a handball over to his teammate in Salopek. He's fallen over at the wrong time. In comes Healy. Healy's got the running player there in Thomas. Thomas takes a one-hander, runs to 65 metres, has a long shot at goal. Is he going to go in the back? No, in the last line of defence there for the Glenelg side is Sherwood. He goes to the true centre half-back position, finds his teammate in Matt. Matt was going to give it off, but has stopped and popped, and now goes to that outer side of the ground looking for Griffiths. He's got Scholar coming with him. Scholar actually puts his arm out, gets the ball over to Bello, I think it was. Bello gets a quick handball there over to Swatala. Again, it comes back this time to Bello at the 50-metre mark. Turns around on the left foot, goes in with a hurried kick, looking for and finding his teammate there in Krieg. Krieg's being set upon. It comes back to Cochrane. Cochrane's got it over to Biscuits. Arnott has a shot for goal, but a free kick is going to be paid down the field, I think. No, it's going to come back to Arnott, and Arnott is going to have a shot at goal from around about 48 metres directly in front for a tackle over the shoulder, DB.
Yeah, reckless tackle by Michael Radis on Biscuits, and a few crumbs fell out of his head, I think, when the tackle was applied. So he's going to get the shot again, and he is a beautiful shot at goal.
Just might test him over distance, I think. I mean, he's going to have to kick from right on 51, would suggest.
Going to go long, the drop punt sails through for a sausage. Roll to the Doggies. They go to 12 goals 5. 77, the Tigers 7-3-45. Phil Hurton.
I'll tell you, you're not wrong about Arnott being a great goal scorer. When he was in under-19s playing college football in Victoria, kicked 136 goals in a season. So he knows how to get in between the big white ones, and of course he was the Bulldogs.
How would you find that out, honestly? How could you possibly find out that he kicked 136 goals in college football in Victoria?
Research.
You
would be amazed. You would be amazed what goes in the print, what goes in the footy budget.
Okay, up they go. Griffiths up against Scholar. Again, it comes out to Healy. He comes around and comes up with a hurried kick up to half forward, and Cochrane has been hit very high. Fairly, though, by the player there in Ben Mules. Two players going for the ball. Comes out to Salopek. Salopek grandstand side between wing and half-back. And Cochrane's bounced up very, very quickly from that heavy attack. But it was fair. It was fair. Salopek goes back in to Armat. Armat goes right across the other side of the ground. A free kick's going to be paid to Sherwood, but it's been called play on now. He comes back inboard to Costa. So they really haven't made much headway at this stage, have the Tigers. Comes into Sujay Cook in the centre of the ground this time. Has marked. Goes now to the true centre half forward position. 3-on-1 there, and the player standing his ground in Steinman had done very well. Jimmy Gowns was thrown off the ball. Again, fighting over the top of it. Scholar is in there as well as Harada. But the umpire says, I'll have it, boys, and we'll throw it up here at the centre half forward position. Glenelg into attack.
We're talking about Michael Griffiths, the ruckman. He's wandering about a bit hobbly at the moment around the centre square, trying to get the attention of the Glenelg medical staff.
Up goes the ball as it comes out the back. Who's going to be first there? Thomas was there for the Doggies. Kicks it up to that man in question, Griffiths. who just happened to be in the right place at the right time. He'll tip it short to centre wing. Damien Rose, not a good kick from Griffiths, allows Thomas to run onto the footy. He kicks it off the ground, but only as far as Matt, who takes the mark. He'll tip it over to Moore. Benny Moore now, centre half-back for the Tigers. Will kick it out to half-back. He's got the lead on from Statham. Statham allows the ball to run into him. Chasing him is Sainsbury's quick. He's got him. He tackles him. Sainsbury then runs to the front position. The ball spills loose and over the boundary line for a throw-in centre wing out of side.
Sounds like you're calling a race then.
Well,
he's quick. He's got him. He's in front.
As the boundary umpire throws the ball back in. Scholar and Smith. Smith went for a big haymaker. Missed as the ball is picked up by Bello. Bello kicks it up towards half forward. Chance for Krieg if he can run onto the foot. He does so, slips over and goes out of bounds in doing so for another throw in between centre wing, half forward, out of side of the NAP Oval.
Throw in to take place. We've played 18 minutes of this third quarter. It is 77 playing 45 in favour of the Doggies. Out they come again, forcing the ball forward. One of the Gowns boys is on the top there. Can't quite pick it up who it is. So you bet he'd have last touch, I tell you. The umpire's got the ball. And up they go. Throw up between Truce half-forward position. Scholar gets the ball over this time, looking for the player there in Svitala. He couldn't take it, and he's been dragged to the ground. And a lot of the pace gone out of the game now, Phil Hurdy.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just watching Michael Griffiths here getting a bit of attention. They're just feeling near his kneecap on his right leg there at the moment.
Okay, looking off the ball there, you've got a player in Thomas having a little bit of a run to do with his opponent there in Polly. Anyway, Scholar's got the ball back in again, comes out this time to Mules. Mules dodges and gets a quick kick, but it is smothered. Bellows in there. He gets a hurry kick up the half full forward, and almost a good mark there taken by the Central's player, but he couldn't take it. Again, 4 or 5 players dive on the top of the ball, and again, the umpire has no hesitation but to say, well, give it to me, and I'll throw it up here. 15 metres out from the Doggies' goal. Up they go. And it is, this time it is the player there in Cowan, I think it was up, gets the ball down. Good tackle there to hold the ball in, and DB, see if you can get out of there for us.
The umpire will move in quickly, adjudicating to throw the ball up. It's only about 25 to 30 metres out from the Doggy goal. Dangerous place to be as the big pack go up. It comes down, taken by Salopek. He's lost the footy. A chance for Jimmy Gowans to kick it off the left foot, and I think he's put it through for another sausage roll. His second, and the Doggies slowly but she's on it just outside the square. There's a few haymakers being thrown, and while the umpires take control of the footy, the players will continue to punch each other. We'll go back to the studio from around the ground scores.
Yes, some close games. West Adelaide 10-5, 65, lead Sturt 8-12, 60. Eagles 11-5, 71, lead Port 10-5, 65. And South 8-10, 58, lead North 7-9, 51. Brisbane 18-13, 121. Lead Carlton 11-9, 75, and Fremantle have defeated Melbourne by 30 points. Back to the NAP Oval.
Yes, back here at the NAP Oval while the fight was going on. The umpires did award a free kick to Glenelg in the centre of the square, and it's come back. They've kicked it in long to the full forward area, but relieving the pressure for them is Tyson Hay. He's had a quick kick up the centre wing. Kimmy Costner's in there for the Tigers. He picks it up, shoots it back inboard. Harada's there for the central side to clear it. Comes out this time to the grandstand side. Tyson Hay is there. He's got time to look up and see Steinburner over the top. Kicks over that player. He's got time to sit down, have a cup of tea, read the paper, still pick up the ball, pump it up, and still have a long time to have a kick, and he does just that now. Goes up to Cochrane. Cochrane's in there, off the ball, comes out to the perfect handle there to the running player there in Coulter. Coulter's already kicked 1, 2, 3. He's now kicked 4 goals in a magnificent effort there. Great play there by Josh Coulter. Great play there by the Central's defence to run the ball way out from the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard all the way through to the grandstand side, ending up with Josh Coulter, who kicked his 4th. So Central's now 14 goals 5. They lead the Tigers 7 goals 3 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard.
Well, I'll tell you what, I reckon it was only about 10 minutes ago that the Glenelg were in range, and we look at the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard now, and the Doggies have almost doubled the Tigers' score. They lead it by 7 goals 2. And, I mean, it's blowouts on the card. Doggies have got this one won. It's just now by how far?
No, I certainly have. And it's interesting to note that both Gowans boys are up in the forward line now, DB.
I'll tell you what, it was great ball work by Jimmy Gowan. Very quick hands to give that ball to Coulter, and he made no mistake as Ben Moore's got the ball in the centre for the Tigers. Goes up inside 50. The lead is on, and taking the mark is the new boy for the Tigers in Kruger. Hardy Kruger, what's he going to do with it? He's outside 50. He's going to
Who do you call him? Hardy Kruger.
Famous actor a minute before your time, Smitty. It's a ball kick, still outside 50, taken by Nicholas for the Tigers.
Hardy Kruger.
I think that was back in the silence day, wasn't it?
No.
It's Charlie Chaplin days, was it?
No, after that. Simon Nicholas with the ball.
Both colour.
What's he going to do, Nicholas? He won't make the distance, but he'll have a look where all the players are, will you? I mean, there's just four players at the other end of the ground. They've all filled up inside the 50.
32 of them in there.
So Nicholas will try and pick a player out, which is almost an impossibility, and he almost put it down the throat of Healy. It's tapped out. Players will jump on top of the footy, and the umpire said, "Well, give it to me, boys. I'll bounce it inside the 50 for the Tigers."
Yes, back here with Hardy Kruger and Evil Roy Slade. They were both film stars, weren't they?
Roy Slade, no, he's a fictitious cowboy character.
Oh, see, okay, up they go. Coulter again gets the thump down. It comes out again. Centrals with just numbers force the ball forward. Kim Costa leads in the race of the ball, but the boundary line's going to beat him first, and over the boundary line it goes. So, but the Doggies well and truly on top here. 14 goals, 5.89. They lead Glenelg 7 goals, 3.45. In the throw-in comes in as the players coming off, and we'll get that page coming off.
Hardy coming off.
Josh Kruger's coming off. And another throw-in to take place out of sight of the ground. TV taken over.
This is like Laurel and Hardy at the moment.
Umpire's got the footy, about to throw it back in, out of side. Half forward flank for the Doggies. In fact, the Tigers. The ball is thrown in. Up they go. Comes out the back and picked up and kicked by Slade. Up towards the centre wing. Salopek leads in the race for the ball.
Good play.
Chance back now here with the skipper there for
Costa.
the Tiger and Costa. Up inside the 50. Offhand, beautifully read by Sujay Cook. The left foot should go.
Free kick.
No, it's a free kick going back to Cook. Obviously met high after he got rid of the footy. And he'll go back and have a shot for goal and kick from about 46 metres. Phil, you got some stats on
Sergei Cook coming into this game, 11 goals, 7, tied for the leading goal scorer with Brett Backwell.
Okay, so Sergei Cook, chance to make himself Captain Cook by kicking a goal as he goes bang, and the goal umpire watches it sail across and through for the minor score to the Tigers. They go to 7-4-46. They trail the Doggies 14-5-89 well into time on. And you'd say that this game is all over Red Rover, Smitty.
Well, you'd just about say that as the Central's players bring the ball back in. Grandstands out of side again. It goes to Healy's leading in the race of the ball. Gets it over. Jimmy Gowns, it was leading the race of the ball. Gets it over to a running player. Comes up to half forward. It is the player there for Central's in front. Krieg. He couldn't take it. It comes out this time to the running players from Glenelg. Nicholas gets it into the half forward Salopek. Salopek goes into the leading player there. A good lead and a good strong mark there taken by
Michael
Radis it is too. And Michael Radis is marked 48 metres out. Probably should go back and have a shot, I would think. And taking his time, it does give the Central's players all the time to get back there. Steinburner is up high and in the back. And there's no doubt about that. The free kick was there. And the player to take the free kick, DB, I think that is Nicholas. No, he hasn't got the bandage on his knee, has he? So it's not Nicholas. Can't quite pick up that player at the moment, but we'll get that. But anyway, it is the Glenelg free kick. They've got a free kick around about 35 metres out. 45-degree angle. Shouldn't have any trouble with the distance.
Not Salopek, is it?
I don't think it is Salopek, but we'll get that as... It might be Smith, actually.
No,
it's not Smith, no. Comes in this time. As the siren goes... Statham it is too, as the siren goes, and he's put it through for a minor score. So another minor score to the Glenelg side. They go down to 7 goals, 5.47. They still trail the Doggies 14 goals, 5.89. That is on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. During that quarter, we saw the Central side add a...
6 goals, 1 to 1 goal, 3.
Okay, and Phil Hurton, you've got some goal scorers for us.
Oh, yeah, for Central Districts, Josh Coulter with 4, 2 to Richard Cochran and James Gowans and Adam Slatara.
Players from the North Adelaide side. Paul Thomas also been a good player. Both the Gowans boys also have been very good, as has Scholar. Steinburner outstanding, and Sainsbury in his first game has been also very good, as has Arnott and Switala. Healy also been very good for them. As the umpire holds the ball aloft to get this game underway. Backwell's been good for the Bays. Raiders has been also pretty good. Kimmy Koss has tried hard all day. But other than that, it starts to fall away. Salopek and Sherwood also been pretty good for them, and Ben Mules also not too bad, as has been Benjamin Moore. Sujay Cook has had his moments as well. But the umpire to hold the ball up as we get the last quarter underway here at the NAP Oval.
Yeah, Cowan was up in opposition to Bradley Smith as the ball squeezed out the back. Healy attempted to tap it off the ground. It actually came to Slade. He handballed over to Steinburn, but only as far as the skipper there for the Tigers in Costa. He bangs it up the centre half forward, and Timmy Davis, who hasn't done much wrong this afternoon either for the Doggies. The former Rooster takes the ball at centre half back and will kick it to the outer side. Up they fly. The ball tapped down, taken off hands by Chris Gowns. Goes up towards the centre wing. In front, Sainsbury. The ball, he still got it as he flips it back there looking for Jimmy Gowns. He overruns the footy. He comes back to Sainsbury. Showed amazing speed. Gave it to Chris Gowns. Then banged it inside 50. Up they flies it over the back. A chance there for Calder, but kicked off the ground by Ben Moore as he runs towards the pocket. Will chip it back into the play. The halfback did it superbly. Gives it to Robinson. Robinson now's got no one to kick to, so a handball over the top. The chance now for Armada will kick it off the ground, then falls over, tries to get the ball, did it well. He's still got the footy. The ball's at the bottom of the pack. It'll be a ball up for sure and certain. Left half forward grandstand side for the Tigers.
Certainly is, and no further score here so far in this quarter. We've played just over a minute. The umpire will bounce the ball, or throw the ball up, I should say, half forward. Scholar's in there, comes over the top this time. Hilly gets the ball down. Mackenzie's in there also for the Doggies. I did say Scholar, but it is Mackenzie. The ruckman for the Doggies. Costa over the ball with Swatala. As the umpire is going to throw the ball up just outside the half-forward area. Down it comes. Up they go. Again, it's Healy. Gets the ball inboard. This time picking up the ball for the Tigers was Bell. And he's been set upon by a couple of the Doggies defence players. And that's been the difference. In the first quarter we saw where the Tigers had 2 or 3 players at the fore of the ball and the Doggies only had 1. This time it's been reversed as Healy takes the ball from the ruck contest, gets a hurry kick up the full forward, being hung on to there and receiving a free kick. No doubt about that whatsoever is the player for the Doggies, and that is Josh Coulter. And he'll go back and line up for his 5th goal, and an even contest in the first quarter has now turned into a one-sided affair at this stage, DB.
Certainly has, Smitty, and as Phil said, when this side gets going, like no other side, they just rise to the occasion, don't they? I mean...
Yeah, Luke Cowan's got the free kick. He's going to kick from around about 15 metres out, directly in front, goes back and says, thank you very much for another goal. He kicked a goal in the first quarter and has now kicked another one in the final quarter. So you haven't got him down as a goal yet, no. DB? Oh,
yes, I have.
Yes, you have. First kick, the first goal. So that's his second goal. 15 goals, 5, and 95. That is the Doggy score. Leading Glenelg 7-5. 47 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. You're on RPH Football with Phil Hurton.
Well, I mean, Doggies just keep rolling along and everyone getting in on the act now. St John's have had about 8 or 9 goal scorers this game. A good even spread of goals. Josh Cotter leading the way with 4. And, I mean, the Doggies, they've got next week they've got North Adelaide coming up here. And the way North Adelaide are going, we could see another ride on hands there. Before a couple of tough ones, Norwood and Westies. The game against West at Richmond should be a beauty.
Well, we've been talking movies afternoon and movie stars, and he's come up with another one. The Doggies keep rolling. That's Rawhide. Rolling. As the umpire threw the ball up, but back into a pack of players, and we'll have another ball up in the centre of the NAP Oval.
Freddie Kruger, Eagle Roy Slade,
up goes the ball. Cowan, and a free kick will go to...
Healy.
Healy, is it? Daniel Healy will be the recipient, so everything going the Doggies' way at the moment as the left-footed Healy. Beautiful kick up inside the 50, big pack, and almost a mark in front to Salopek. Couldn't hold it, the ball comes.
I reckon that was a mark.
Hey?
I reckon he held that long enough, to be honest.
Oh, no. Well, I suppose last night, so we saw a couple on the TV last night, they hung on to about 2 seconds and they were played. But didn't think he had it long enough, Smitty, as the ball is thrown up. Mackenzie with a left-handed tap. Done a good job since coming on, Mackenzie. As Evil Roy goes in there, that's of the Slade variety, but he goes without the footy. Salopak's in there again for the Tigers. There'll be another ball up right on the 50 for the Doggies as Simon Arnott gets rid of his opponent. And the umpire holds the ball aloft, and that's Bell who's in opposition to Arnott as Healy bounded down, and another free kick to the Doggies, is it?
Off the ball.
To Bello. So Marco Bello now. And you'd have to say that Coach David Noble will be very disappointed with the Tigers, the way they started off this.
Yeah.
Smitty?
No question that he would be very disappointed. But Bello now has got the ball at the true 50-metre mark. has the leading player, goes over that player, but couldn't take the mark there. Was Coulter. Comes back out this time in there for the Tigers. Gets a hurry to kick out. Comes back towards Bellow's direction. He picks it up, turns around. He's going to have a shot at goal here. Bellow on the left foot, turns around and says, that is as easy as you would see. His first and Central's 16th. They go to 16 goals, 5, 101. Absolutely annihilating the Doggies, annihilating the Tigers, I should say. 7 goals, 5-47. That is on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. And one's just got to wonder now, the Tigers, after a great start, how they can let themselves down so badly in the next 3 quarters.
Well, I mean, it's one thing to get beaten in 4 quarters over the course of the day, but the Tigers dominated Centrals in that first quarter. It wasn't just an even contest. They were in front, and they really showed their fans that, hey, this Glenelg side can do something. But it's just, I mean, the way Glenelg has dropped off has just been so disappointing.
Ball back in the centre. Ben Moore attempts to come out with it. He did so. Just got grabbed as he got the kick away. Came to Cochrane, who's just come onto the ground replacing Steinburner. He goes with the left foot up towards the centre half forward position. Thumped away. Who's going to be first there? It's picked up by Coulter. He runs onto the left boot and goes bang up towards full forward. It's going to be a one-handed mark. It is to the Doggies. And taking the mark in front. I'll pick him up in a minute. He comes
Jimmy
back
Gans,
and it is young Krieg. Mark the ball. Matthew Krieg, and he's point-blank range virtually. The Doggies have already kicked 16, and he'll become their 10th individual goal scorer if he sails this one through. As he goes back with a right boot and straight through the high diddle-diddle over the goal umpire's loaf of bread for another sausage roll to the Doggies. 17-5, 107. The Tigers 7-5-47, and you're with Phil Herden on 5RPH Footy.
15 goals to 1.
Is that
That's what's occurred since quarter time.
Jeez.
15 goals to 1. And I mean, you wouldn't even get that good at running at a training drill, would you? 15
well, you wouldn't know, but the disappointing part from the Glenelg point of view, as DB made mention in that part of the call, was that they were absolutely dominant in that first quarter, and you'd be very, very concerned from the Glenelg coach's point of view why the transition and why the turnaround. We could have the team going so well in the first quarter, but then dropping off, allowing the opposition kicking 15 goals to 1 in the next 2 quarters and 7 minutes. So very disappointing.
I can remember saying in that first quarter they were first to the ball. They were hunting in packs. They were desperate. That's gone right out of the game.
Luke Cowan now into ruck, coming up against Kruger for the Tigers. Up they go. Kruger gets the tap down to no one in particular. Jimmy Gowns races on the ball, sockers it over to in the front of Marco Bello. He picks it up, dodges past pretty easily, falls over there, gets a handball back out to Jimmy Gowns. It comes. Hurry to kick up the full forward area. Mackenzie's in there. He couldn't take the mark. Chris Gowns tries to steal it, but the Glenelg defence force a kick quick out, but taking the mark there, or I thought he took the mark, was Marco Bello. Didn't play it. Comes back to Jimmy Gowns this time on the left foot, flies a shot at goal, and it's gone through for a minor score. So
it was Coulter, actually. It
was Coulter too. It was a minor score. Nevertheless, 17 goals, 6, 108. They lead by the lazy 61 points, 7 goals, 5, 47 over the hapless Tigers here at the NAP Oval.
Probably taking a bit of credit away from the Doggies in what we say about the Bays, but they certainly, it's almost as though they've changed jumpers. And
you've got to give it to the Doggies. They've been superb since that quarter time. I mean, that's what we're saying. They've been superb. The Gowns boys have been in everything. They've been fantastic. Bello's been superb. Healy's been great. As the ball's brought back to the grandstand side, and what happens? It goes straight into the arms of Switala, another great player for the Doggies today. He goes back to the true centre-half forward position. Setting up for Mackenzie. Can he take the mark? No, he can't. Good spoil from behind there by the Tigers defence. Sees the ball come to ground. 4 or 5 players dive on the ball, and there has to be a throw down there. What I'm saying, DB, is, you know, we might say that the Tigers have played so bad. What you've got to ask is, why do they allow themselves to play or get pushed off the ball like they have been in the second and third quarters?
Can't answer that, Smitty, as the ball's out the back to Brockman. Brockman goes over the top looking for Billy Neely. He runs over the ball, then goes back and taps it towards the boundary line. Got a free kick for his effort. He was at the bottom of the pack, and as he tapped the ball, Bello, I think, came over the top of him, and the free kick will go William Neely's way. The umpire's called him to play on because he ran over the mark, stepped off the mark, I should say. He gives it to Mules.
Was that 15 metres?
Sorry?
Was that 15 metres?
Yeah, I measured it 15.1, Smitty.
Yeah, well,
Benny Mules will drop the ball back pocket,
I tell you.
out of side, as he goes with a short kick looking for his teammate. They have no over marking that ball as the Doggies are away this time through Biscuits, aren't it? Up towards centre half forward. 3 Tigers up against 1 Doggy. You'd think there'd be a few down. One of them is Sainsbury, but on the bottom of the pack is a Tiger. And there'll be a ball up. Phil, you got some words of wisdom there?
I was just going to ask a question of the worldly wisdom here. We've been playing 10 minutes of the quarter. Has it been inside Glenelg's 50 yet?
No,
quarter?
it hasn't. As the ball is thrown up centre half forward. Up they go. The tap down by Calder, in fact. Emerging with the football is Sherwood, though, for the Tigers. He'll kick it towards centre wing, but it's only going to go as far as Thomas, who takes the mark.
He's been another good player for him, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole side's just played so superbly as the ball goes out to half forward. Chance now once again for the Doggies. Chips inboard and running back the same way of the ball. Is that Davis down there?
Looks like
Tim Davis? I think it's Tim Davis who's come all the way down from half back and marked the ball inside 50.
Phil, have a look. We've got 2 players in the back half of the 50 metre, well, the back half of the ground. Yeah, Harada is, well, we've got 3 players from the back part of the square all the way to the goal square.
Well, I mean, you're concerned about the defender. Well, I mean, all the defenders bar one are up, and I mean, even though there's 35 players on the central side of centre, still able to find the open player inside of 50, and Tim Davis is going to have a shot at a fairly rare goal.
Davis comes in now, kicks on the way, looks pretty good off the boot, but just going to the right side of the post for a minor score. So 17 goals, 7 now the central side, 109. They lead Glenelg 7 goals, 547. That is on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard as Radis is going to bring the ball back in for the Tigers. Comes inboard this time and finds his teammate there in Mules. Mules comes to the outer side of the ground here, looking for the player there in Brockman. He couldn't take it. It's forced out, and this time the free kick is going to be paid to that player in Polly. Polly has got the ball at half back, and he's looking upfield. A lot of pointing going on, but not a lot of people wanting to say, well, give me the ball. They can point anywhere they like, but you've got to ask for the ball to get it. Comes up to the grandstand side, but easy as you like, taking a mark there. Virtually unattended is Paul Thomas. He goes to the inside of the ground, finds Healy. Healy's got a running player on that outside, and that is off the hide. The kick is to perfection. Off the hide doesn't have to change stride. He goes inboard there this time and finds his teammate there in Coulter. His kick 5 comes inboard to Harada. Harada's got Hay coming. Krieg is coming past him, gives the handball to him. Krieg goes up to centre forward. Bellows in there to receive the crumbs, can't get it. Sherwood has a hurry to kick out. This time it's got 3 Bay players in there. Can they clear it this time? Sock it off the ground, but straight to a nest of doggies. Is it a nest of doggies or a kennel of doggies? Pack of dogs it is. I'll get it right sooner or later. But again, it comes out to the Bays. They, through sheer numbers, again comes over to Centrals. Healy's got the ball. He'll turn around and get past that player. Give a quick handball on, pushed in the back. No, he's been paid holding the ball. Well, we heard Shane Harris say to us at half-time that they always pay the first free kick, but nevertheless that one they didn't. Comes over to Costa. Costa, grandstand side. Comes up the field looking for, but easy as you like. Cochrane gets rid of his teammate. Davis comes inboard this time. Gets a handball over the top to his running player there. They're just doing it easy. Arnott with a inside-out screw punt kick going towards the boundary line. Jimmy Gowns in there. Can he do something? He'll take someone out if he can't. But he's done it very well. Forced the ball over the boundary line to hold the ball in the area. And gee whiz, I admire those Gowns boys, the way they play their footy, DB.
Well, they played very similarly to you, Smitty. They'd rather a feed than a fight. Or is a fight and a feed, is it?
Feed then a fight.
The ball thrown in. There's picked up by Krieg. Krieg towards full forward. Out comes Cowan. The ball goes past him. In fact, hip and shoulder, I thought, but the umpire said it was too high. And the free kick will go to Nicholas for the Tigers. So Luke Cowan was the player that came out of 100 miles an hour. As the ball is off hands, a chance now for Robinson. He's got it, but straight to the boundary line. And all of a sudden, this game has deteriorated somewhat, boys.
Do you think in today's standard of football, DB, that players like the Gowns boys actually intimidate the opposition?
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. They tried to intimidate young Culpert earlier in the piece, and he came back like a firecracker as the ball is picked up by Healy back inside the 50-metre area. Again, Cowan came out and used the body. The player at the bottom of the pack just flips it out. He gives it to Costa. Costa now thought about handball. I should have, because he's going to go for holding the ball, and he'll go back, and the doggy, that is, go back and have a break. Why he never gave it to his teammate, who was Brockman, I think, in the back pocket, but Costa turned away from him and straight into a doggy who wrapped him up. And that player in question is Josh Coulter, who's going to have a shot at number 5. And he should kick this, boys.
He certainly should. Coulter comes in now. Left foot drop, punts on its way. Easy as you like. That is his 5th goal. And the Doggies 18th. They now go to 18 goals, 7, 115. absolutely annihilating the Doggies. 7 goals, 5-47. Let's quickly go back to the the Tigers. Let's quickly go back to the studio to collect scores from all around the grounds.
Port Adelaide 12-8-80 lead the Eagles 11-7-73. Sturt 9-14-68 lead West Adelaide 10-6-66, and South 12-11-83 lead North 11-9-75. And the final score was the Brisbane Lions 23-17 155 defeating Carlton 11-10-76. Back to the Nap Oval.
Back here at the NAP Oval, as we see Davis come off, and the player coming on to replace him is Quinton Graham. As the ball comes out again, Krieg with a hurried kick out of the centre, comes in over the top. Sujay Cook picks it up. He's been tackled and thrown away. A quick kick again. A free kick has been paid to Sujay Cook. Was thrown after he did get rid of the ball, and good decision there by the umpire to see Sujay Cook receive a free kick.
6-1 half doesn't the other.
Well, you say you can't throw a player down after he's got rid of the ball. That's what he exactly did. So it's a free kick. Sujay Cook from the centre half back position goes to that outer side of the ground. Good score there by Tyson Hay. Comes back in board. There is, I think it's Bradley Smith for the Tigers, is it? And a free kick is given away, and it's going to go to the Doggies. And that player picking it up there is Matthew Krieg. Got a bit of the ball in this last quarter too. Krieg goes to the outer side of the ground. Up there they fly. No one can take the ball again. Comes back down to the ground. Chris Gown's in there. He can't take the ball. Comes out this time to Polly, I think it is. He's got the ball. Turns around, gets a quick handball over. Then again, due to the sun's come out here, it's very hard to pick up the players this time. We complain when it's too dark, and now the sun's out, we can't see him. Can you work that out? But nevertheless, here at the NAP Oval, it is Central's 18 goals, 7, 115, and leading Glenelg 7-5, 47. And Glenelg have added just 1 goal 3 since quarter time.
Boundary umpire to throw the ball back in, and it's McKenzie up against Hardy Kruger. Kruger with a left-handed tap, but only as far as Jimmy Gowns, who ends up with the footy again. A left footer goes towards the centre wing. Leading in the race for the ball is Mules, and there's a free kick off the ball. And I'll bet one of the Gowns is in there somewhere.
No.
Yes, and it'll come back, and it'll go to Bell, Nathan Bell for the Tigers.
Stay tuned, Glenelg are going to go inside 50.
The first time. Will they make it inside 50? The kick's on to Cook, and Cook marks it just outside 50, so they will be in. No, they still haven't got there yet because he tipped it over to Robertson.
I don't know where it is.
Robertson thought about handballing. He's still outside 50. You've got to go inside 50 now. No, he's still outside 50. Chips it short to Matt. So they've had 4 kicks, and they're still outside 50. This time it'll go inside 50 as the lead is on into the pocket from Backwell. Good lead, good kick, good mark. And Backwell will go back and line up for goal. But it's not an easy shot because he's on the grandstand side, just inside the 50. And you'd think he'd try and pass off here. He thought about it. But then all the leads are covered. And this is a difficult shot, Smitty.
It is a difficult shot. And there's a bit of a fight going on behind the play here. Right behind the umpire's back. A free kick has been given to the Glenelg player, I think.
Well, Graham was involved.
No.
And look what numbers around the centre. Oh, both of them, 21 and 28.
Yeah, now free kick has been given to Simon Nicholas for an indiscretion with one of the Gowns. I think it was Jimmy Gowns that actually gave the free kick away, but nevertheless Nicholas has got the free kick, and he'll line up from around about 35 metres, 40 metres out, as we must thank the ladies auxiliary again for the kind sandwiches in case they come up to pick the coffee in the baggage.
Sandwiches.
Lovely sandwiches and cake.
Makes that nice trip from Happy Valley very enjoyable.
Yeah. Nicholas comes in now. We'll line up from around about 40 metres out. First shot on goal for this quarter for them. The kick's on its way. It's a pretty good kick off the boot too. Good kick to post, as you can hear. The central hierarchy going absolutely bereft. They don't let to give anything away here, do they? Gee whiz, handshakes and boomerangs they give away up here. But nevertheless, the player to bring the ball back in for Centrals is Jeremy Off the Hide. Goes straight down the centre of the ground. Up they go, and Healy takes the mark. Unattended, easily as you like. Turns around on that left foot. Comes upfield to the true half forward position. Bellow's in there. He's going to pick the ball up, you would think. Hot pursuit is Matt. Bellow in front, keeps the ball in, kicks the ball along the ground, goes up forward again. Can Centrals do anything here? No, they can't. Leading in the race of the ball for the Tigers is Sherwood. He goes in looking for Sujay Cook. He can't take it. Picking the ball up now for the Tigers is Robinson. Comes back here to Cochrane. Cochrane goes to the outer side of the ground, and taking an easy mark there is Quinton Graham. He chips the ball over the top looking for Chris Gowns. Can he take it? Yes, he can. And Chris Gowns will go back from no further than 20 metres out and have a shot on goal, Phil Herden.
Yeah, Chris Gowns has got 1 goal thus far this match, looking for number 2. He's one of the, but I think coming into the game he was Central's leading goal scorer. Let's have a look here. With 13, pretty close. one of the interesting things about Central is, considering the conditions today, an 18-goal, 7 return, pretty accurate football.
Magnificent football.
The wet weather.
And considering they only kicked 2 in the first quarter. Anyway, Chris Gowns to come in. 25 metres out. Drop punt's on its way. Goal umpire hasn't moved an absolute muscle except to put up the 2 fingers and register another goal to Central's. 19 goals, 7, 121. Absolutely annihilating the Glenelg side. 7-6-48 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. Let's go back to the studio for a final score. And if it is Port Adelaide defeating the Eagles, you'll hear Phil Hurden's jaw drop onto the ground.
12-7-79. Back to the Nap Oval.
We didn't actually get that score there, Peter Greco. If you quickly want to give us that score again, we didn't get that final score.
Yeah, no, in fact, it wasn't a final score, but Port Adelaide 12-8-80, lead the Eagles 12-7-79 with only a couple of minutes to play. Back to you.
Thank you.
Ball back in the centre. Jimmy Gowns with the right foot up towards half forward. Eagle Roy's in front and takes the mark. They well outside the 50, gets a handball over, gave it over to his teammate there in Cowan, I think it was. Ended up back with Roy Slade. He's running around, dodging, weaving, and throws it on the right boot, bangs it up towards the 50. Up they fly, taken beautifully offhand. It's a chance for Quinton Graham. Was it Biscuits on? It's one of the 2. The kick's on its way to the right-hand side. Biscuits it was, and he missed by a couple of feet through for a minor score. To the Doggies, they go to 19 goals. 122, they lead Glenelg 7-6-48. And both the Gowns boys have kicked 2 goals each. That's why Chris Gowns didn't miss the other one as the ball is kicked in and been marked. The poor kick in by Salopek has been marked by Sainsbury, I think it is. And he's going to line up and become, number 11 if he can kick it for the Central side.
Playing in his first game, he's been very good for the Doggies. Very quick, live wire type.
Very quick, you're right, mate. He's got a lot of pace.
He certainly has, and he's been a good player in his first game, and he'll go back now from around about 45 metres out. We'll kick from around about 47, I would think. Kicking to the northern end, which has been favoured by a very slight breeze. We've played 22 minutes of this final quarter. As he comes in now to have a shot on goal. Comes in, the kick's on its way. Looks pretty good off the boot. The goal umpire's getting underneath it. It looks up and says, that's gone right over my loaf of bread for my first golden league footy. That's the 20th goal for Central's. 20 goals, 8, 128, leading the Tigers, 7 goals, 6-48. Now let's go back to the studio and collect scores from all around the grounds.
Yes, well, Port Adelaide have doubled their score, in fact, doubled their lead. 12-9-81, leading the Eagles 12-7-79. And West Adelaide 13-6-84, leads Sturt 10-14-74, still trying to get a score from Rollunga. Back to the NAP Oval.
Well, West Adelaide have bolted there.
They certainly have bolted.
Put about 3 or 4 on in a real Indian curry as the ball is in the centre with Healy. He's wrapped up. The ball spills loose, kicked off the ground by Chris Gowns. When you're hot, you're hot. Come straight to Krieg. Krieg wearing Danny Stevens' old number goes bang with a long drop punt, which just goes to the right of the behind post for a boundary throw-in. A right full forward pocket for the Doggies. So just the Port side and the Eagles battling it out down there at Woodville. And Phil Hurden here, he's on the edge of his seat at the moment as the boundary umpire about to throw it back in. Been a bit one-sided here since the halfway through the second quarter as the ball is thrown in. Tap down, chance now for Salopek, kicked off the ground, comes out to Costa. Costa over to Brockman. Brockman now with a drop punt to half-back. Players will set themselves. Tap down by Thomas, straight down to Twatala, back to Thomas. A magnificent handball, but Thomas has let the side down with an absolute Barry Crocker of a kick. Gone out of bounds on the full, and it'll be brought back into play by Sherwood. He hasn't been the Tigers' worst player in defence, always tries hard. As in fact, it's Nicholas that's got it, and not Sherwood. They look alike when they're a fair way away as he goes onto the left boot, up towards Statham, in front, takes the mark in opposition to Thomas. So Statham now, back pocket, well, virtually back pocket. He's on the 50, defensive 50 line. He's going to kick it in towards Nicholas, is he? Who's by himself in the square? No, he's got no one to kick there whatsoever. All the holes have been filled up, but now outbursts Sujay Cook, takes the mark, flips it back now, gives it to Statham. Statham kicks it up towards half forward. Polly dropped what he should have taken. The ball underneath him, Dax on the mill, and there'll be a ball up between centre wing, half forward, grandstand side for the Doggies. They lead 128 to the Tigers 7-6-48 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. We've played almost 5 minutes of time on in the final term.
We have, as Scholar goes up again, he gets it to Healy over the top again, gets it over towards Sujay Cook. He gets a quick kick around the corner, and it's going to bounce out of bounds in front of the centre wing position here at the NAP Oval, where it has been all the Doggies since three-quarter time. They've added 18 goals, 6. So Glenelg could only add 1 goal.
Free kick here.
And there's a free kick off the ball again, and dare we say who's involved?
No,
it was Josh Coulter this time. Well, anyway, the ball has been kicked in, and the player taking the mark there, I think, is Brockman, is it?
Yep.
He goes to the outer side of the ground, looking for and finding Salopek. He hasn't been their worst player either. Salopek, he's been a real leader for him, and as a junior to come up and lead a side has been very, very good. Sujay Cook receives that kick from Salopek, coming into the back centre of the field, gives it back over to Benny Moore. Benny Moore's got Mule's shocking kick, and this central's just in numbers again. Will run the ball out. You'd think, no, they won't. It comes out this time to Kruger. He can't take the ball. Again, 4 or 5 Doggies players around the fall of the ball, and there was a few free kicks off the ball, DB. You don't like to see that in any game, do you?
No, you don't, Smitty.
And we'll get a final score in just a minute. It sounds like the Porto are up by 8 points there at the Woodville ground as the ball is thrown back to Costa. Costa's got to Backwell. Backwell over the top there to this time to Polly. Polly turns around on the right foot, gets a hurried kick, but it's just, the Doggies up here. Comes out this time to Thomas. Hay it is. Hay's got the ball over the top to Krieg. Krieg's got a running player back inboard, and that player there is Cowan. Cowan kicks it up to Bello, and Sujay Cook doing battle there. Bello just steals it, gets it over to Healy. Great play. He'll run through and put this through for a goal, one would suggest. The captain's running into his 40 metres, goes back and through the cheers. Great play there by Marco Bello. Second goal to Healy, 21st goal to Central, 21 goals, 8, 134. They lead Glenelg 7-6-48. That's on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. Let's go back to the studio, collect the final score, A scores from around the grounds.
Yes, block your ears, Phil. Port Adelaide 13-9-87 have defeated the Eagles 12-7-79. And West Adelaide 16-7-103 have thrashed third in the end 10-14-74. Back to the NAP Oval.
Very interesting game next week at Unley Oval. The Bays travel to play the Blues. The Blues have lost 4 out of the last 5, and well, we've seen Glenelg today.
Great kicking by West Adelaide, 16-3. So Jimmy Gowns gets a quick kick out of the centre of the ground, goes to Swatala. Swatala over to that player who's just kicked the last goal in Healy. Don't tell me he's going to have another shot. He kicks up to the goal square. Can anyone take a mark? Harada's up there. They're trying to get him a goal, I think, in his 250th game, and that would be great to see.
Everybody else has kicked one.
Yeah, Costa's got the ball on the centre wing. He comes up, picks the ball up, looks upfield, hasn't got anyone to kick the ball to, bounces the ball back down. Swatala's in there to have a tackle at him. Comes up this time. Up they go. Quinton Graham's in there. Can't take it. Cochrane. The ball comes back to Sujay Cook. He's got a quick kick up forward in there and spawning the ball away for the Doggies in great defensive action. He's off the hide and sees the ball going over the boundary line. And I dare say that's what they want to do. Get the ball up to Harada to kick a goal in his 250th game.
Certainly would seem so. He's standing full forward and
all by himself.
And if they can get it down there, he'd be a strong chance, I'd say.
Well, he's played 250 games. He kicked 21 goals.
Okay, the ball thrown in. Sujay Cook at the bottom of the pack spills out to Quinton Graham. Here's the chance for them. They can get it down quick enough. Get to Thomas. Thomas over the top. Chance now for a Biscuits on it. He'll chip it out towards the centre wing. The long lead is on there from Calder. He will run onto the ball. No, he won't. Evil Roy, is it? He's got it. Put the ball to boot out towards the centre wing position. And chance now for Sandry. He's got the pace. He's out about 3 or 4 yards in front. Flips it back to Calder. Calder's going to go down with the ball. No, he spills loose back to Sandry. He went without it. And in backing up is Calder. Kept the ball in play. Has he? No. The boundary umpire said he stepped over the line. Well, that's not all important. The ball went over the line.
That's exactly right.
Back in.
I'll tell you what, the crowd will erupt if Brian Harada can kick a goal here in his 250th game. They would go absolutely burlesque.
Well, he's got the head bandage. He looks like something out of Private Ryan at the moment. He's standing down there.
We've had all the movies today, haven't we?
The ball is thrown home. The big thump, but it'll end up with the Bays in back. Will gave it to Salopek. Salopek will come onto the left boot and go towards these half back flank where Robinson takes the mark as the siren goes to end this contest here at the NAP Oval. Well, it was